昏によく似合うわあの日のままで話をしてほしい海の好きなあなたね私はずっと頬杖つきながら来てるだけでいい Baby love 優しさだけが重すぎただけなの Baby love せめて笑ってこの夜終わらすわ明日から二人別々の日々でもこの街のどこかでね生きてる限り会える気がするのよその時は笑顔で Baby love 二人の愛は戻りはしないけど Baby love せめてあなたを憎みたくはないの憎みたくはないの
Hello. Hello and welcome to the SteubeMan stream for tonight. Let's see. Turn this down just a little bit. How is that? Is that too loud? Is that too quiet? Who knows? Only you can tell me. Or maybe I could just do this. Alright. Well, it was taking me a moment because I wanted to make sure I got my comida ready, my tabemono? Tabemono? Oh yeah, I want to hit record. Alright. And then yeah, welcome. Well, today I actually tried to plan out some stuff. Let me get a little bite. Tried to plan out some stuff. Let's see. No. There we go. That's a little bit better, right? Oh well, you know, you get to see my monitor. Hold on, let's see. All right, well. Well. So, today, I actually tried to plan things out. And I'm still crooked here. There we go. Here, let's do it like this. Alright, cool. I think that's a little bit better. I'll have to come over here though. I still trying to get situated with how I want this setup. I didn't really work on it, to be honest. Dang, I didn't really clean up that well. So today I actually tried to plan things out. Let's see if things go according to plan. If they do, wonderful. If not, well, I don't know. I'll say sorry ahead of time. How was my voice? Oh, damn. One day I'll fix the mic so like it actually sounds good. Sorry, now I'm talking with my mouth full. Great. Perfect. So anyway, I think if you check the description of this here video, those are the kind of things that I want to talk about today. I want to talk about some of the Ohio stuff that's developing. I want to talk about Grave of the Fireflies coming out on Netflix. It's an interesting way I found out about that anyway. Might talk about PS5 Pro because PSSR, which is the console equivalent of like DLSS or AMD's Super Res FSR, whatever. That's pretty interesting. I don't know if you guys find that kind of thing interesting, but who knows? Maybe watch a couple videos from the Japan Reporter, one of my Japanese channels that I like to watch. Damn it. I said I had picked out a couple videos last stream. I haven't even watched them yet. So hopefully we can talk about that. And then what else? I need to move this over. I'm just gonna put it way up there. Get it out of my way. And then what else? Oh, what else did I write right here? Maybe I'll play a little Contra, see how far I can get. And I don't know. If you guys are finding anything interesting out there in the World Wide Webs, feel free to discuss. I'm gonna just do a little bit of eating. I was interested to learn. I was fascinated to learn that one of my videos kind of took off comparatively. Specifically, my "What's Going On in Ohio" video. Let me see if I can pull it up. For me, it's kind of a big deal. Seems. Let's see. I'll maybe. What happens if I switch? Oh yeah. Okay. This is 546 more than usual. I guess I only get like 40 or something views. I don't get a lot of views, you know. I'm still trying to figure out. Plus, I'm changing my channel, so a lot of things don't really work. But this is definitely the fastest one of my videos is kind of taken off. So I'll basically try to talk about that a little bit more. So that's, yeah. That's kind of one of the things I want to talk about. What's strange about that video is when I first put it up, it only got 1 view, like, or 2 views, like the entire day yesterday, and then overnight, and then through today, all of a sudden it has like 586 or whatever. So obviously people kind of are wondering about that. What's going on in Ohio? And since then, more things have come out. So I want to talk about it. Is that video stuttering or is it just me? The situation in Ohio is definitely a controversial one. And understandably so. But don't mind me while I eat. Consider this some kind of mukbang while we watch whatever. There's also something in my video on Dr. Disrespect that I talked about that probably didn't get a lot of attention necessarily, or maybe that's why people unsubbed. Nobody's really been too well, you know. Anyway, long story short, there's one kind of topic that I really find interesting that I want to talk about eventually. I don't know if I'll do it tonight, but I definitely want to talk about morality and the way, like, I basically want to talk about morality, and I want to talk about or discuss how the left and the right political spectrums in the United States kind of view, view morality. And maybe that'll shed some light on why there's a two-party system in the United States. But yeah, this is something I'm working on. I don't know. In that video, I talk about transcendent morality, and I talk about groupthink as two sort of poles that are within each human being, but sometimes we emphasize one over the other, and then that's what kind of leads us left or right in our political kind of tendency, I guess you could say. And sometimes I want to be able to talk about how each human being ought to be able to balance those things. Like, what's the proper perspective to have the opinion of the group matter and the and an understanding of what transcendent morality is. I want to try to talk about like what's a good balance, and then also what happens when it's imbalanced. Like, what happens when you focus too much on the groupthink or too much on a transcendent kind of morality. Like, basically, when I talk about transcendent morality or groupthink or group morality, I'm talking about where a human being perceives the standard morality being derived from. So, for instance, is this do you view moral standard as ultimately derived from some transcendent cause, I guess you could say, or some transcendent force? Like, is morality transcendent to the temporal order? I know, kind of speaking philosophical. But long story short, do you view that basically morality is kind of defined outside of human experience from God, from a divine source? Because pretty much all you're really left with. I mean, I guess you could say other things like impersonal force or whatever, but just, is it some law outside of human experience that kind of comes in? Or is morality purely subjective and derived from the group? You know, like from a consensus, you could say. So yeah, I kind of want to talk about that eventually. Maybe I already talked about it more than I probably should have at this point, since I still want to finish my food. But so all this video is copyright. I played this playlist in my first stream, and I basically had to take down the first stream because it all got copyright blocked in several territories, whatever. So that's why I'm doing like a separate recording, and hopefully I set up my second recording properly to where I can just easily edit this music out. Because if I can't, I won't be able to keep the live stream up. I also won't be able to post anything because anything will just get taken down or copyright struck or whatever. But I figure, like, you know, oh wait, this way. Good music. So why not listen to it during the live stream? You know. How are you all doing? All one of you. Which is most likely me. I'm watching my own stream. You know what? Let me do a little likey on the stream. If you enjoy the stream, go ahead and leave a thumbs up. Yeah. Ugh, sorry. Had to pull some chicken out of my teeth. That's kind of strange. Yo, where is everybody? I'm just kidding. They are where they are. Eventually, I'm going to talk about stuff. Don't worry. I'm just trying to eat my food. Enjoy the music, yo. Almost looks like they could be in Southern California right there. Uh-oh. I need to find out what movie this is and watch it. Good old Japanese rom-com. I'd hope it would have all the music from like these kind of stuff. I think those singers, I think we discussed this last time. The singers of all these songs are like the actresses. Tennis. Tennis is a sport I would love to learn how to play. I used to go to the park all the time and kind of just like hit up against the wall or like practice my serves on a tennis court, but I was too nervous to ever play with anybody because whenever I played with somebody, it just I didn't really. I don't even think I was ever good enough. I had a tennis course actually in college, but it was hard to even keep a consistent game going because I couldn't get it down. All right. Summer is winding down, coming to a close. All right. So I think I'm gonna start off watching. Let's see. All right. I'm gonna start off watching this. Start off watching this. It's a Digital Foundry video. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, PS5 Pro versus PS5. I'm interested in this because I was playing. Oh, let me fix this a little bit. Because I was playing it earlier this year. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and man, there were just some issues with like the screen. super sampling and stuff like that, the whatever they use to try to get the performance mode going, that I ended up just going with the fidelity mode, 30 frames per second, even though it's not even my style. But it's interesting what the PS5 Pro can do. So I kind of want to watch this video a little bit, maybe kind of just figure out about how PS5 Pro
Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is
handling
and
this
often
game.
a very good-looking one, packing incredible character modeling, highly detailed open-world environments, and beautiful particle-filled combat. The game certainly had some very strong visual highs, but the title was let down by poor image quality in its performance mode, with lower rendering resolutions and a blurry final resolve.
Yep, I hated that. That's why I didn't.
Since the game's release, but the upcoming PS5 Pro promises to
the game looked super good though.
The game's soft and imprecise image. Early Pro footage released by Sony shows off 60 FPS gameplay with greatly improved, sharper-looking rendering, providing a Final Fantasy VII Rebirth experience with far less compromise. So how does this new footage compare to the existing PS5?
I don't know. Should I do that or should I do that? Whatever.
And can it sustain a state?
But look. Performance smooth. So basically, look how good the upscaler is, because they're just using the same performance mode. Anyway,
60 FPS.
Obviously, there's
with the additional visual detail.
Obviously, there's graphics, but this, I mean, I know there's only a 30 frames per second post or output or whatever, but
FF7 Rebirth is an uninterrupted sequence that covers the beginning of Chapter 2, the first gameplay segment set in an open-world space. The footage is unlabeled, but the one visual mode we are looking at is targeting 60 FPS, just like the PS5's performance mode. Our intro cutscene here shows off the impressive
I want to go.
The PS5 Pro is capable of. It's delivering a crisp.
Specifically, I want to. So what's interesting to me about this is okay. So obviously you can see this. There's a difference between these two, but everybody online wants to be like, is it a $600 difference, or what is it? Is it a $700 difference, or really? I don't know why they say it like that. It would be a $200 difference, wouldn't it? Because if you had to choose between both. But I guess when they say, is it a $700, is it worth $700? That means they're considering you to already have owned a PlayStation 5. And they are wanting to... Deborah Pa, what's up? Oh, Ohio? Dude, something's up with Ohio. I'm going to get into that in just a few minutes. How are you, man? Right now I'm just talking about PS5 Pro and people's discussion over... Is it worth $700 and stuff like that? But if you haven't already, watched my video, earlier video yesterday about Ohio, you can check that out. But anyway, so a lot of people are basically complaining about the price, but I think that those people are coming from the perspective of, I already own a PS5. Am I going to spend $700 to just get this upscaler, this ray tracing, and a slight boost like that you can barely notice? But I think that it's probably not worth it in that case. Unless you want to sell your PS5, somehow, and then just pay the difference. But so yeah, I think the $700 is kind of understandable, to be honest. And maybe I sound like a corporate shill or some bullshit like that. But I just feel like, I feel it's kind of like it's just easy to hate on it, because people don't really think about what an equivalent PC would cost to get that kind of performance. In my opinion, I don't think they really do. And then the other thing, so I could see that, if you don't really have the extra cash to do it, then don't do it. It's not really worth it. But I would think that we still have to wait and see how much better games look. Because I feel like, in a certain sense, the PS5 Pro should have been what the PS5 was, maybe. But so these are the interesting things about PS5 Pro. It's the ray tracing, like the dedicated ray tracing hardware, right? It's the upscaler, the AI upscaler PSSR, and then obviously there's more graphical power. So basically, they're going to be hitting 4K 60 with the help of that upscaler, in at the performance mode way more frequently. And if you've played Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and you've seen the difference between the performance and the fidelity modes on a base PS5, I think I know most people are gonna say, oh, go for the 60 frames per second performance mode. Like me, no, I didn't, because I have a 4K monitor. I have a 4K monitor over here and a 2K monitor over here. And dude, it just looks like there's this crazy weird filter, and the 60 it doesn't look good. Like I didn't want to play, so I played on fidelity, which was only 30 frames per second. And to be honest, it's fine. There is a weird blurriness I have to get used to, where I just kind of train my eye to look at the character more, because if you do look at the stuttering, like I don't even know how we used to do it back in the day, playing games 30 frames per second or whatever. But I guess there's a mix of 60 and 30 back in the day. Anyway, I'm the kind of person that probably would, because I have a PC that can play 4K fairly well on most things, and can do ray tracing fairly well in most games. I know what it looks like when it's off and on, RTX on, RTX off, and dude, it looks so cool. It looks so cool when RTX on, and the ray trace shadows, ray trace reflections, especially ray trace lighting too, but I know that's like the most expensive. But when you see it happen, or when you see the result, it looks so good. So I'm the kind of person that would probably sell my PS5. I would definitely sell my PS5 to upgrade to the PS5 Pro. But I have to wait until I get a job before I do something like that. I'm not gonna spend the money right now. But anyway, let's see. I know most people. Let's see. Let me look at the chapters right here. PS5 Pro for PS5 graphics. We're not gonna make it. So frame rates and conclusion. You know what? We don't even really need to watch this video.
Sharp 4K image.
Because I don't even think I can show you how. Can you guys even see the difference between these two screens? Like, it's. I think you can definitely see the difference between that. Even in, let me see what it looks like on stream. I think you can definitely see the difference, right? But it's not. It's like this is the kind of game where it really shows the difference, and it definitely needs it. So I'm thinking that people are gonna realize that it actually is good. But the thing that I'm most interested in is PSSR, which is a PlayStation. Oh damn it. Scaling resolution or some shit. I don't know what it's called. But PSSR basically is Sony's console native upscaler for PS5 Pro. What's interesting to me about that is one of the complaints that they kind of talk about in this video is that they're shimmering, because I don't know if you've ever seen. I honestly, when I play games, I don't like using an upscaler. I don't like using DLSS or anything like that. I prefer the native. Like when I played Dragon's Dogma 2, I just played native 4K 30. I didn't even care because I wanted to play with ray tracing on. And plus, I knew that the city scenes in Dragon's Dogma 2 or the city areas were having the CPU bottleneck and stuff like that. So I was just like, I'm just going to cap the whole thing at 30 and get my graphical fidelity if I'm just going to have these crazy drops. And so and that looks way better than a PS5 for sure, I'm telling you. But what I'm interested in is if they make if developers know that they can consistently count on the consoles being deploying a super sampler or an upscaler like PSSR, then they can develop their games around it, right? More consistently than they would on a PC, because with PC there's so many different variations in hardware, and that's why porting games from console to PC can sometimes be difficult, especially like if a game developer like Capcom, for instance, or is mostly a console developer first and then they try to port things over, right? Though Capcom usually, more than often than not lately, has been doing better with their PC ports, from what I understand. So long story short, what I'm getting at is that if game developers can get used to developing around PSSR or any kind of basically PSSR, then what'll happen is that they'll be able to use techniques in the development process that will mitigate or reduce or maybe get rid of all the artifacting and the shimmering that PSSR and other upscalers would usually introduce into a game. That's what I'm thinking. So yeah, so I think in the long range it'll actually be, I think for like how do you put it, like hardware evolution and development, I think what the PS5 Pro is doing is actually super fascinating. And I think that the Nintendo Switch 2 is definitely going in this direction. Except I think that they'll be using either DLSS or some maybe proprietary fork of it, you know, like a Nintendo version of DLSS, because the next Switch is probably going to be using more NVIDIA hardware, just like the original Switch. So NVIDIA Tegra, you know, was the Switch ones. So what I'm getting at is that all game development is going to start going around, or will be factored. Will be factoring in an upscaler. You know what I mean? And that's the consoles that are really pushing it. Now, it was obviously introduced first in the PC space, but I think developers are going to adopt it way more because with consoles, there's a wider audience, you know, so it makes it more worth it. Whereas not everybody has an upscaler in their GPU. I think you have to have at least a 20 series with the RTX. And even then, it's not really like 30 or 40 series GPUs of NVIDIA. AMD, I don't know. Actually, because AMD and PlayStation are very, you know, tied up, like AMD supplies PlayStation and PlayStation Pro CPUs, whatever PSSR does is they're probably going to be able to share some of that with AMD, you know what I mean? So I think in the long run, this is going to be really interesting to see how, I mean, because honestly, look at the difference with these two. When you see this in motion, like,
Rendering featured on
it looks so good.
The same 60 FPS update.
To me, that's worth it, bro.
Make out far more detail across the environment, especially in high-frequency texture.
I don't know if you guys can tell, but that shit looks good. Now,
skin textures.
Now, it's not only just going to be upscaling the resolution; it's going to be better ray tracing, and which doesn't just mean lighting, but also means shadows and reflections. And dude, ray tracing is just so good. Ray tracing is just so good. So yeah, let's watch a little bit more of this video while I eat some rice.
With a specular
oh, dude, look at this. Look at that. That's literally the upscaler. And well, okay, I might be overblowing what the upscaler is doing, but obviously the GPU is way better. I think it's like 46% better, so it's actually way better. I think the CPU they just kind of tuned it a little bit, but the biggest difference is going to be in the GPU department. But I don't know, dude, that just looks so good.
Revealing poor detail that was smeared before. You can actually make out strands of hair on Tifa here, though of course the hair is still card based, and dithering has been minimized relative.
So they're talking about dithering. The dithering is like, it looks like almost like worms, dude, like, are like little like, you know how like whenever you get those little like worms in your eye, it looks like a bunch of those. But then look at here, there's none of that because it's more of a solid block. But this is, I think, rendering the hair at a higher resolution.
To base PS5.
But if you look closely,
FF7 Rebirth's TAA resolve have been.
Oh yeah, this too.
Like how ghosting is no.
Look at the ghosting along the branches. You can see the shimmer, dude. When I saw this at first, I was like, "What the hell's going on in this game?" And I didn't know if that had to do with like screen space reflection or whatever. But look, it's like completely eliminated on the PS5 Pro. So the image fidelity just looks, it's just so heightened.
Certain camera moves tended to cause ugly trails of duplicated detail, and I didn't notice it popping up nearly as much during this footage, though in some moments I did spot some more minor ghosting. Also, distant trees no longer appear oddly transparent and shimmery, and have a more...
Alright, so there's the shimmery. This is upscaled on the base PS5. It's upscaled on the Pro. And the shimmering, you'll see this, the way this is popping in and out is much reduced on PSSR.
More solid, stable look on Pro. If we step into gameplay, which I've tried to match as best as possible here, the same advantages continue to be evident. FF7 Rebirth packs a lot of geometry into every frame, boasting primitive sheer
It looks so
power
good.
and minimal detail, and the PS5 Pro simply handles this much better than the base console. Ghosting on camera movement is much harder to spot on the Pro as well.
Look at that. Here.
That frustrates the base machine.
Oh damn.
Ghosting on camera movement.
Right
is
here.
much
Look at the
harder to
plants right
spot
here. Look at this. It's like completely removed.
on the Pro as
The
well.
ghosting is so weird.
Combat frustrates the base machine a little bit, with blurry particle effects and poor image clarity producing a bit of a muddy look overall. PS5 Pro handles this scene impressively, much better than I was expecting, resolving crisp 4K-like detail, even in relatively fast combat scenes. The motion blur also looks quite pristine and is relatively artifact-free. Particle effects look generally good in motion, though some...
Yeah, I think most of the motion blur was like per object, like just the moving object right here, and not all of this. Like just the weapons and the character movements, and then I think it only gets deployed like in extreme movement. Otherwise, like too much motion blur, in my opinion, it doesn't look good.
freeze frames reveal a slight chunkiness relative to the rest of the presentation. That's probably because Rebirth appears to be using PSSR, or PlayStation Spectral Super
There it
Resolution.
is. There you go. PlayStation Spectral Super Resolution. Surely it's PSSR, AI-driven upscaling.
Which is Sony's new machine learning-based upsampling solution exclusive to PS5 Pro consoles. PS5 Pro packs a substantial increase in GPU grunt, but the cost of native 4K rendering would likely overwhelmingly enhance console. Instead, Square Enix has opted
Yeah,
for
rendering
this
45%.
resolution, taking the game from an average internal resolution of roughly 1152p or 1224p in my counts to a 4K
Dude, it
final
looks
result.
way
Other
better.
counts as low as 1080p and
I
as
hate it
high
how-
as 1296p. Though if
I
we
hate how it
were
looks.
able to get our own capture here, we might be able to see some greater variability. That's very similar to the resolution range of the base game, which hit comparable resolution figures in its performance mode. The difference here is on PS5, the game didn't use any form of temporal upsampling, instead taking that final rendered image and simply upscaling it, perhaps using a bilinear or bicubic upscaling solution. The game's final resolve also appeared oddly soft, lacking detail relative to some other games with similar
All right.
resolutions.
So yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to show there. Nothing too crazy. Let's see. But the bar pond was asking about what is wrong with Ohio. I guess I'm gonna try to do it justice. Let me get rid of this. All right, so I'm going to try to do this topic justice. I don't know if I will, but my biggest prompt for, well, there's two reasons why I'm making why I want to talk about this some more, because there's basically new developments, right? In Ohio, there's new developments, and what they are is just the other night I saw, it was like a night or two ago. Actually, I think it was last night. There's a dude named Ian Carroll on X. And let's see. So Ian Carroll on X kind of had this strange, let's see. I'm just gonna, how do I open all these? There we go. There we go. All right. Let's see. I'm gonna find that post right now. Okay, cool. So desktop, cool. So this is the video I saw. So it says Ian Carroll posted here, Haitians in Ohio may or may not be eating pets. I don't know. This was the 16th, as you can see, a couple days ago. But there is some serious evidence of weird money laundering or human trafficking or something in Springfield, Ohio. And Ian Carroll shouts out Peter Santilli, who is this guy? Pete Santilli. Okay, I think I've heard of that. And Christy Talman, who's a journalist. So anyway, what I am noticing too. So when I made my video the other day, I kind of added this thing where, oh, actually, I can maybe even pull it up. Let me do that real quick. So in my video, a lot of people were wondering, like, is it really happening? And then they're saying, like, oh, specifically JD Vance. JD Vance had this interview. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, wait. No, not that one. All right. Then JD Vance had this interview here. All right, let me see. All right. So this happened just after the debate last week, right? And this is what it was said.
I would say is he brought up this misleading false claim that you yourself have talked about in recent days about Haitian immigrants in Springfield, Ohio, abducting people's pets and eating them, which officials there have said is not true. You yourself acknowledged it may be false on Twitter. You still told people to keep spreading it.
So they said that just based on what and this is like, even the moderators of the debate were interrupting Trump when he was talking about they're eating dogs, eating cats, stuff like that. He interrupted them, right? Or he got interrupted because they wanted to say this particular thing that this I don't know what it was, like a state manager or something like that. Some kind of social manager was saying, like, no, we don't have any reports of that happening. And JD Vance kind of was like basically saying on Twitter, I guess, I don't have the receipts for that, but this anchor is basically saying that. And she's saying that he basically said that it's probably not really happening. Who knows? And that's, who knows if it really is or not. And that's kind of what even Ian Carroll was saying. But nonetheless, they were like, he puts this thing out where maybe we should put some reporters on the ground in order to figure out what's going on.
But Trump just amplified it to tens of millions of people who were watching. Why push something that's not true?
Well, first of all, city officials have not said it's not true. They've said they don't have all the evidence.
They said they have no evidence.
We've heard from a number of constituents on the ground, Caitlin, who both firsthand and secondhand reports saying this stuff is happening. So they very clearly, meaning the people on the ground dealing with this, think that it is happening.
And there is the difference between their opinions right there on this matter, or their takes, you know what I'm saying? Is that JD Vance is leaning on what do people on the ground, what do actual, like, everyday people, what are they saying? So in a certain sense, you could see he's listening to the people, the everyday constituents of Springfield, Ohio, in that area, right? Whereas the anchor is just listening to a town official. And that's all they're willing to do, is listen to the town official. They're not actually willing to, as a reporter, that, you know, that kind of reporter is not actually willing to go and find out and do like on the ground reporting. So that's just the distinction right there, right? So where, you know, the sources of where they're getting the information are different.
And I think that it's important for journalists to actually get on the ground and uncover this stuff for themselves when you have a lot of people saying, my pets are being abducted, or geese at the city pond are being abducted and slaughtered right in front of us. This is crazy stuff. And again, whether those exact rumors turn out to be mostly true, somewhat true, whatever the case may be, Caitlin, this town has been ravaged by 20,000 migrants coming in.
And that's the real story. So, as he's going to go on to say, well, so basically, someone in my comments on the previous video was saying, like, oh, JD Vance lied. And he even admitted that he lied just because he wanted attention. And I felt like that was such a weird, jaded way to say it. Like, as far as I know, this is the only interview I know where he talked about it. Maybe there's another one. I didn't really do a whole bunch of deep research, so this is kind of just like my take on it. But it seems to me that what JD Vance is saying is that we have these reports. We don't know how true they are. Or, you know, we don't know how widespread the problem is. But they are so crazy that it warrants at least some kind of investigating, because many people, plus there have been strange videos online, you know, and I even put one of them in my previous video. So there's something going on with eating cats and dogs, but there's also a way bigger issue there, which is 20,000 migrants coming to that country all at once, and it's not being talked about until now.
Healthcare costs are up, housing costs are up, communicable diseases like HIV and TB have skyrocketed in this small Ohio town. This is what Kamala Harris's border policies have done.
That's why they want to reduce it to, oh, the right is just spreading conspiracy theories, because they want to shift away from the immigration policies of the United States that the left is promoting. And so that's a double-edged sword of using a controversial topic, like a meme topic of eating cats, eating pets, you know. That's the double-edged sword, because you do invite the criticism of, oh, it's just such an absurd thing. It's probably not happening at the scale, or not at all. You know, it's not happening at the scale that the right is saying, and so they're just using it. They're just using it to gain attention. But it's like, okay, well, what else is going on there? You know, the car accidents that are out of control, right? The services that are being offered, like even getting the driver's license in the first place for migrants, and all this stuff is they're getting it without having to go they're getting it via a shortcut. Long story short, they're getting it via a shortcut that most U.S. citizens, normal U.S. citizens, they don't get the same shortcut. So there's lines at the DMV offices to get all sorts of things, and they were saying it's like, one officer was saying it's like 9-to-1 of the migrants to actual citizens in that area, 9-to-1 that were being served at the DMV. So it's so many people.
And I think it's interesting, Caitlin, that the media didn't care about the carnage wrought by these policies until we turned it into a meme.
That's the whole point right there. Let's back it up and hear him say it again.
Border policies have done. And I think it's interesting, Caitlin, that the media didn't care about the carnage wrought by these policies until we turned it into a meme about cats. And that speaks to the media's failure to care about what's going on in these communities. If we have to meme about it to get the media to care, we're going to keep on doing it.
And what's wrong with that? If the meme is a controversial topic that, kind of exaggerated a little bit, maybe it is, but yet it does pave a way to be able to shed light on this subject, where literal damage is being done to this town because of bad policy. It should be discussed. The news should be covering it. But as he's saying, the news doesn't cover it until it becomes something that they might be able to ridicule. So basically, the media got baited, dude. They got baited.
Because the media should care about what's going on.
I saw you say.
There you go. So there's that. So anyway, that's what I wanted to clear up about what the one guy was saying on my channel. But before I get in, so actually, let me just show you some of those comments real quick. Let me see if I could bring it up real quick. All right. So, all right. So here is my video, and let's see, how do I sort by newest first? You have to sort by newest because most of these get under the radar. So this dude says, let me see, can you guys see the whole thing? This is a statistic from over 5 years ago. 95% of adults in Ohio admit to using crystal meth. Now, I'm not sure, I don't know about that statistic, to be honest, but if that is an issue, then that's one more issue with that area, right? So but he said this is from 5 years ago anyway. It says Vance now admits he lied about people eating cats and dogs, saying he did it for social media attention. And I wrote, I think Vance was pretty clear the night of the debate about where he stands in that interview with CNN, so I don't think you call it lying. But as you point out, there are some alarming things happening in Ohio. Even this morning, last night, news is coming out about human trafficking involving a wealthy dude, among others. And so with many reporters investigating pet eating, maybe they'll stumble upon these other more sinister things that are happening there. This guy responds, okay, I called it lying when Vance said we made it up. Did he say that? Where? I want to know. I don't know where he said that. So anyway, I just saw a new. So he says he's seen a new Vance interview where he said he made it up because he wanted to get the attention of reporters. Really? And this is what he's going to criticize Vance. A vice presidential candidate in a very public election, someone who has a mic shoved in his face everywhere he goes, and he has to lie to get attention. Wow. He's not gaining the attention for himself. It's pointing to the problem in Ohio. So I don't know what he's really saying there. Unless he has a very cynical take of they're just doing this to bring attention to the... Well, in a certain sense, yeah, it's to bring attention to poor policy. So I agree with that. And then I wrote, I'll keep a lookout for this interview. Nonetheless, I've seen the cat barbecue videos myself. One is at least a year old. I showed it in this video. There's another with a dog on a spit in someone's backyard. Dude, for real. There's literally a dog on a spit, and they're turning the dog. And it's not one of these videos that's in Haiti. It's one that's... Actually, that one might have been another state. Maybe I'm wrong on that one. But I definitely seen that shit. And so anyway, I don't think he's lying since there's actual video. Why call it lying? He just said the thing that would be most controversial in order to draw attention. It's not like he's lying about this stuff. Because because again, there's the people on the ground, the people living there are saying these things, right? If there's something legitimately bad going down, don't you think it's a smart move to draw attention to it? I mean, if there's nothing going on there and it's just to draw attention or to get attention from low IQ voters, then I'd be frustrated. So yeah, so if this was just bait to gain attention for the Trump campaign and nothing was actually going on there, like that I think would be definitely frustrating. Because what is the point of using something like that? So it's like, for instance, I'm going to make an analogy to clickbait. Whenever you see a clickbait video, right? If there's a clickbait on, like a clickbait title to a video, and you click on it and it talks about something completely different, then you're completely disappointed with that video and you give it a thumbs down or whatever, rightly so. But if there's a clickbait title and it leads you to click on the video to find out more, and the video is actually interesting or has something important to say, I think, how often are you forgiving of the clickbait title? You know what I mean? Like, we understand what a clickbait title is, but the thing is if you don't deliver something of value or worth on the other end of that, or on the receipt, the follow-up, then I don't know what I'm saying anymore. But basically, if there's nothing that follows up, right? Then that's when you get mad. That's when you get mad. But you're more forgiving when something actually good comes along. And then this guy says, okay, this is a new. Actually, I don't think I've seen this. You should get into swamp animal barbecue videos. You see some big snakes. I'm not saying Vance lied. He's saying it. Well, I'm gonna disagree with you there. I don't think he said it. Many people feel he should be responsible for the criminal acts people committed in the name... Okay, so this... For the criminal acts people committed in the names of dogs has been infield. You also has me believe in videos I've never seen. That's like a cold morning in the drums. Well, I definitely showed one in the video that you're responding to, So, let's see. So here, I didn't actually show them. I just kind of showed them, highlighted them right here. I didn't really want to actually show them, you know what I mean? But yeah, so here's one that's from that area. So you're responding to a video where, something there, but maybe we will do this one time. So I do think that is an interesting idea. Swamp animal barbecue videos. You see some big snakes. So snake, I understand, is something that people eat. And I'm guessing it could be anacondas. I don't know, bro. But I don't know if I would like to eat snake. Yeah, so there. So this part is crazy. I heard somebody talking about how there were bomb threats or something like that being called into Springfield area in response to this, but I don't know what criminal acts he's talking about. I know that the bomb threats were being called in from other countries, actually. Like the origin was from other countries. Now maybe people just using a VPN or something. I don't know, but I'll have to look more into that. So this is definitely, if this is happening, then that's kind of like the double-edged sword kind of. This is the kind of double-edged sword of the meme. But since we're on the topic of memes, I thought we could watch a few of the cat memes since they're so fantastic. And let's see if I can show you some right here. So first meme. Actually, I think I made like a little. Let me find them. A folder of memes. It's on the desktop right here. Oh yeah. Let me see if I can actually do this smoothly. I don't know what happened. I ended up just making copies of all of them. So I don't know how I did that. I want to open these. Cool. All right. All right. So I don't know in what order these memes are in. I just thought that we could look at them because they're kind of ridiculous. Can I just left and right, or hold on? Where am I at? Okay, not here. Here. All right, cool. So we got the Rambo Trump meme, and honestly, bro, what's going on? What's going on? Is it super cold? Has this Trump been breastfeeding all these kitty cats? Is that why they are so freaking big? I'm talking about anyway, so Trump is Rambo Trump saving kitty cats. And then we got if I can move on. I thought I was just able to. I can't. I can't even. All right, here we go. Maybe now I do it. Okay, cool. Then we got Trump on some kind of, I don't know what it is, like an old style like Ford Model 1. And all the kitty cats are just happy, all right? So that's cool. Yeah, look at riding off the distance of all the cats. But let's see what else we got. This one's a little crazy, isn't it? I thought that was pretty funny. I don't know. Moving on. I had to put this one in there because one of my all-time favorite movies is The Matrix, the first Matrix. The other two are some of my favorite movies too, but the first one is definitely clears. It's definitely the top. So I like that. I thought that one was cool. Let's see what else we got. Here's another good one. No one ate your cats when I was president. Too good. And of course, this is a picture from the future. This is going to be all the kitty cats that will be welcome in the Oval Office when Trump resumes his presidency. This one is live action from Springfield. No comment here. No comment here. And this needs no comment. By the way, DoorDash in Ohio, yo. I don't know what they be ordering over there, but that's a little crazy. All right, so those are a few funny memes, and then we had this gem. I'm gonna play this for you guys. This is a video from this guy, The Kiffness, and then please enjoy this song. Hopefully it doesn't blast, but
in Springfield, they're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there.
People of Springfield, please don't eat my cat.
my god.
They're eating the cats. Meow, 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 meow. They're eating the pets of the people that live there. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Meow, 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 meow. They're eating the pets of the people that live there. In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there. And this is what's happening in our country.
This is what's happening in our country. Oh man, we definitely got to figure out what's going on. We got to figure out what's going on in Ohio. Something is not right. So, it doesn't end there. It's not just about cats. It's not just about dogs. Here's an interesting video from a dude named Ian Carroll. This is what I started out with in the beginning of this little segment, and I want you guys to view this. So, he's talking about human trafficking in Ohio. So yeah, Haitians in Ohio may or may not be eating pets. I don't know. But there is some serious evidence of weird money laundering or human trafficking in Springfield, Ohio. Shout out to these two, right? So, to kind of preface this little bit, in the video, my previous video about Ohio, I kind of mentioned how the earthquake, thank you to the commenter in that video who clarified for me, the major earthquake in Haiti, and I think there was actually one other natural disaster. So there's like two. I think there was two. That's why I was kind of confused. But the earthquake, what happened in 2021 or 2020, whatever. I kind of mentioned that she who must not be named was involved with a lot of humanitarian aid. And we're going to find out that actually both Governor DeWine and his wife, Governor DeWine is the governor of Ohio, and his wife especially, we were involved with a lot of humanitarian aid to Haiti during these times. And so it's interesting that because of their connection, this is what's happening. Ohio is basically like one of the major destinations for a lot of Haitian migrants trying to escape the poverty and the destruction of Haiti. And it might be that these two people might have something to do with this situation. So there's also some other things revolving, so with human trafficking, right? And with money laundering. And so the topic of money laundering is going to be discussed by this dude right here. I'm going to let him kind of take the floor on that, Mr. Ian Carroll. But there is a little note right here from the X community, a little reader context. What are these called again? Reader's context? I don't know. So.
Cats and dogs in Springfield.
All right.
I don't know if they're eating cats and dogs in Springfield, Ohio, but I know that there's some really weird real estate deals going on there. This one's about to be a bit of a deeper dig with a lot of crazy little connections. Strap in. Started when a friend sent me Pete Santilli's post making some big allegations that I went and started trying to corroborate, which also led me to reporting by Christy Tallman. And here's where it started. They both pointed out that on July 10th, 2023, this mysterious shell company called Solar Collective LLC purchased 24 properties in Clark County, each of them for $1.6 million, despite them being worth nowhere near that much.
All right, so there's this little reader context right here. I forgot what they called these, community notes. Solar LLC, whatever, did not pay $1.6 million per property. This was a multi-parcel sale, meaning that the bundle of all the homes was $1.6 million. And then the average purchase price is closer to $70K per home, which is detailed in this filing. So he talks about how it seemed really crazy that
I went and looked them all up for myself on the
each house was $1.6 million.
By searching Solar Collective, and I found 24 parcels. Every single one of them sold on the same day for the same exact amount, $1.646 million.
It's just weird that it's all itemized like that, but the average purchase price is closer to $70K per home, which is detailed in this filing. So you can see how it's a little bit confusing, But that's what happens when you have novices kind of coming in trying to make sense of things. But luckily they have community notes, so people can kind of add a little bit more context to kind of hone it in. He shouldn't be discouraged, for instance. He shouldn't be discouraged from doing his own kind of research and stuff like that, because it's a community effort, and he's putting it out here, and he's kind of showing the receipts. And obviously, since it's here, people can criticize it, you know, and brings things to light. And so that is the essence of free speech. Let's move on.
Despite their appraised value.
So I'm gonna actually, I think I'm gonna skip this if I can.
Sense for where they are and whether they're bunched up or not.
Some of them are bunched up. Okay.
Real estate and
Political donation. So what Ian Carroll was kind of saying was that political donations and ties to real estate. He's saying that this, let's see, Governor DeWine's connection to these transactions become more suspicious when examining his political donations from the real estate sector. So that means a lot of people in the real estate sector were donating to Governor DeWine. Especially between 2019 and 2021, DeWine received substantial donations from real estate interests, raising red flags about potential conflicts of interest. So, here we go.
in the last couple of years, like from the real estate industry. I noted that he's recently been signing bills into law that are very pro real estate industry, or at least that were spearheaded by Ohio realtors. And we'll get to the Haitian stuff in just a second.
So they donate a lot of money to Governor DeWine, so that Governor DeWine would kind of make it easier for them to do business in Ohio.
But I wanted to know more about this Solar Collective company because they are very hard to find information on. As in, they're damn near impossible to find information on because they appear to just be a shell company. But this is them. When you search them on Open Corporates, there's two with their exact name, one in Delaware, one in California. People seem to be honing in on the one in California. Maybe it's the same. I don't know. But this one in California, I found them on one of these like business lookup websites, bizprofile.net. And usually these websites don't really give you any information, just like basic public filing documents. But I thought it was kind of interesting. I don't know if this means anything, but in their various events, like various filing events, I noticed that this year, on July 11th, they filed a change of the address of like the registered location of the business, I believe. I'm no expert, like this is just me having fun trying to learn stuff. But they changed their address from that to that. Looked those two properties up, meaning the agent, the guy on the paperwork for this shell company, changed his address from this like warehouse to this $1 million mansion, which is neat. So anyways, hey.
So it's neat. What does it mean? Who knows?
I've been promising you we're gonna get to Haiti.
All right, so this is the point. This is the part of the video that is really interesting, and he's going to talk about here Becky DeWine, who is Governor DeWine's wife, and he's going to talk about her involvement with Haiti.
And I didn't know this. I don't know why no one's reporting this, but the governor of Ohio has huge ties to Haiti. Not like the Haitian immigrants right now. I mean, like going way back.
Going way back.
Governor DeWine, Becky DeWine is his wife. School or just Haiti at all. You'll find all sorts of stuff about how him and his wife have been working in Haiti for over a decade.
So they've been working in Haiti for over a decade, and it looks like what they were doing was they were actually establishing schools. So this is like a huge, big deal. Mike DeWine and Becky DeWine, current governor and first lady governor, whatever, of Ohio, have deep ties to Haiti, specifically schools, building schools there for like the last 10 years.
They made a whole bunch of schools in Haiti, whole network of schools that are free, that serve thousands of children in one of the poorest slums.
They're free for the people in Haiti, but where are they getting all the money from?
Haiti. Okay, which is like deeply altruistic.
Deeply altruistic. How are they funding that?
Assuming there's no human trafficking going on.
Oh, human trafficking.
If you aren't read up on your deeper history, this would not be the first time that human trafficking in Haiti has gone hand in hand. And I'm not saying I know that. I'm not saying I have evidence of that. I'm not alleging that. I'm just...
Me neither.
saying, look for patterns.
Look for patterns. That's all we're doing.
He's got all kinds of money pouring into his governor's...
$4 million still leaves the governor's candidates in campaign funds. Wow.
There's all kinds of weird, sketchy property deals going on, while there's this like mega influx of Haitian migrants happening. And the official narrative, per Christy Tallman's reporting, quote, while the official narrative focused on providing homes for the migrants, the inflated property values suggest a darker motive.
So this is one under the suspicion that each house was bought for 1.6 million, which was not the case. So it's not exactly like that.
These properties, purchased at exorbitant prices with no clear intention for development or enhancement.
Yo,
could
Raimundo,
potentially
how
serve
are
as
you?
staging areas for human trafficking. Given the lack of transparency and the involvement of shell companies, there is growing speculation that these properties might be fronts for housing or trafficking individuals.
Kind of a bold statement there. Deserves some investigative reporting.
Shell companies are often used in money laundering schemes to conceal the true source of funds by inflating property prices or using properties as fronts for illegal operations. The fact that 24 properties were purchased at inflated prices all at once points to a coordinated effort to funnel money and hide illicit financial activity. And that's like the oldest trick in the book. Property, real estate is one of the most classic money laundering schemes you can possibly do.
To be honest, I don't really know how they would do that. So I wouldn't be able to explain it to you. But that's definitely something I'm going to be doing a little bit more research on. Is how does buying houses at exorbitant prices, how does that money laundering? Now I know, for instance, I've heard about how art can be sold at exorbitant prices. And so that it can be a way to money launder. But I don't know the technicals of it because I've never actually looked into it.
Mob Mafia have been doing it for generations. So Christie leaves us with some pretty important questions. Who is behind Solar Collective LLC? Why were these properties purchased at such inflated prices? And what role does the influx of Haitian migrants play in these activities, if any? And like any good journalist, she cites some sources. And that's aside from the whole migrant question, regardless of your take on illegal immigration, legal immigration, whatever, it's a town of like 50,000 people or so receiving 20,000 new residents.
Which is wild.
Many of which need assistance and government help and programs for housing, food, etc. That's just a huge strain on the community, regardless.
Yeah.
Even if there's nothing nefarious going on here.
So even if there isn't anything nefarious going on, the strain comes from bad policy. And whose bad policy is it?
The videos of Trump getting remixed into funny songs of cats and dogs by all sorts of DJs, figured we'd bring a little attention to some of the slightly more serious issues going on in Ohio right now that are emblematic of what's happening in many places around the country, and highlight some great journalists along the way. Follow Pete Santilli. He's going to keep breaking this. Follow Christy Tallman. She's probably going to keep...
I should probably do that, but...
A great journalist to me. This is the first I've read of her. I also know that Hernando Arce, I think is probably how you say that name, just hit the ground in Ohio today or yesterday. He's going to be reporting on it too. Friend of a friend. I'm told he's a great guy. And Taylor Hansen has been doing some of the most reporting on the ground, interviewing residents.
I think this guy, Taylor Hansen, I think he got banned from YouTube recently, but I'm not sure. Anyway.
Etc. So far. Again, I'm not trying to report any political bias here. I'm not trying to spin any story. I'm just trying to report on some of the depth of what lies below the political machinations of division and hatred that spew into the mainstream and all the bullshit. Because there's actually a lot of stories behind all that bullshit that y'all are getting distracted from.
Yeah. So, again, he's at the very end kind of talking about the double-edged nature of using a meme to bring light to this actually dire situation, right? We're kind of getting distracted by cats and dogs being eaten. Who knows if it's true or not? But like JD Vance was saying, without that meme, would we even be having journalists hitting the ground over there? He just named at least... so I know at least like three journalists who are hitting the ground. They're hitting the ground and actually doing some investigative reporting. And then this is some of the other stuff that just because the light's being shown over there. Now, Raimundo says, I guess he's talking about the method of money laundering involves the purchase of properties using illegitimate funds and subsequently inflating their value through fraudulent appraisals. The scheme enables criminals to increase the apparent value of their assets rapidly, making it easier to reintegrate illicit funds into a legitimate economy. Okay, interesting. So, so I think it has something to do with like how like cash is like tracked, right? And so they just want to be able to, yeah, reintegrate it back, and that way you can kind of. So for I know the basic gist of money laundering is to kind of erase the paper trail that would tie the source of the money back to some kind of criminal enterprise. So yeah, so that's why I know that they use they use artwork often as a way to money launder or to launder money, because you can't really say that the price of an artwork is very subjective. So you could just say, oh, it's worth this exorbitant amount, and so you can basically do like a cash purchase, right? Oh, and that cash purchase kind of helps erase like, oh, okay, where did you get that cash from? And they're like, okay, I don't know. Yeah. I think I first heard about that from one of the Uncharted games, but I don't know. Actually, I think it's Uncharted 3, but I don't remember. Uncharted 2 or 3, I don't remember. There's a sequence in the game where you have to like go undercover and kind of break into this art exhibit or this art show or something like that, or art auction at this wealthy island or some shit like that. So yeah, so I wanted to kind of bring that up. So here, and then here's some follow-up just so we're clear. Getting clarification for home use in real estate. The sale price for all the homes is likely a combined price for them all together. So it's likely that they bought all of the houses at one package for one reason or another. The county recorded the sale for each as a total for the whole purchase. When you add up the appraised prices of all of them, it comes out to a little over 1.6. So the added amount is probably taxes of payment above the market price. Whatever makes way more sense. Still tons of questions, but that clears a big one up. Respect for how you handle pushback and clarifications. Yeah, I mean, so he says anyone who gets defensive when presented with evidence isn't here for truth and learning. And that's something I respect about Ian Carroll, who's someone I've only recently started following, but he seems pretty interesting. Mostly because he's just kind of putting the pieces together himself, and he's just trying to talk about what he sees. And the whole point is to talk about it so you can get feedback, from the community. The governor's donor filings should be monitored. Was there a connect between those 24 homes? Who was the seller? I'm guessing an LLC. Likely way to funnel money to his campaign. So yeah, Solar LLC or whatever bought them, but who did they buy them from? The seller was another LLC with basically no footprint I could find publicly. Premier Property Rentals. Now, the scary thing about talking about stuff like this is like, who am I? You know what I mean? And who's Ian Carroll? We're just kind of noticing this stuff. It's all public on the books. Like, you can see it's happening. But obviously they're hiding something for a reason, and maybe there's nothing going on, but if there is something going on, it's kind of nerve-wracking to think that, like, people who are really wealthy and powerful, in a certain sense, are being criticized by poor people, and what are wealthy people willing to do in order to squash the kind of flashlight being shined in their direction. It's kind of crazy. So Jack Posobiec, he's been kind of pointing out some interesting things about Governor Mike DeWine. And here is a map he was studying in Springfield. I don't know what this is supposed to mean exactly. But we have somebody who seems to be Haitian descent. Bro, just happen to see this stream? Wait, which stream? Jack Posobiec's? And then do you watch him? That's pretty. I never watched his live stream. It's called Human Events right here. Is that what it's called? How deep does the rabbit hole go, Mike? So this is from September 8th, and then this was earlier today. There's something going on. Breaking news. Nowhere else on X. This is somebody, I don't know who's exploiting who here. Ohio is a central point for refugee resettlement with a labyrinth of agencies funded by the administration. Harris. So, what I end up finding out. Oh, hold on. So who exactly is being exploited over there in Ohio? Is it kitty cats or is it Haitian migrants? So it could be that while it seems like the cat memes kind of are critical of of Haitian migrants, the Haitian migrants themselves could be victims in all of this too, and likely are, because it could be exploited. Now, I'm going to hopefully find... I don't think I will. Let's see. Oh, this is actually... Okay. Oh, man. So, I don't have the receipts for this. Unfortunately, this next thing I'm going to say, but it seems like a lot of these migrants are going to work in like food packaging plants, and that they are being exploited by a particular dude who's a really wealthy guy, and he's basically known. And that's why it's an article. All right, let's find out this article. Maybe I'll find it right here. It's an article that I read, and the article was from a special little place called Daily Wire, which I don't usually read, to be honest. But if I can find that... Oh, yeah. Let's see. What's this? More ties to Haiti. Bill Gates. George Soros and... Or that's Bill Gates. He who must not be named and she who must not be named. And then... Let me see if I can find this. Maybe I have it in my bookmarks. Did I really not save it? I thought I did. Oh, no. I think I saved it over here. Oh, man. No, I didn't. 1 second. Let me try to see if... Here. Did I accidentally put it in another one? Let me see if I can find it real fast. Hold on. Yeah, Haitians can't seem to catch a break. No. But anyway. The Haitians know about this guy. They call him like King something or other. And, oh, wait. Hold on. Okay, maybe before I go that, I forgot. Anyway, we'll go to... I forgot to talk about this later. Or earlier. But, Eric Swallow just had a full-on meltdown about cat memes. So this was from a few days ago. And, yeah, a bunch of cat memes right here. But, actually, we'll just watch this, and I'll go try to find that video.
What in the hell is this? The chairman tweets, protect our ducks and kittens in Ohio.
So he's mad that the House Judiciary GOP committee is retweeting cat memes. He is outraged. Mr. Swalwell is outraged at the GOP Judiciary Committee head.
Goes down some crazy rabbit hole, completely debunked that aliens are eating pets.
Oops. Did he say aliens or Haitians? Did he say fucking aliens? Oh, no, what he said. Okay, my bad. They bleeped it out. He said illegal aliens. Sorry.
Pets?
Here we go. Hold on.
Debunked that aliens are eating pets?
Wait, he did say it.
Are eating goes down some crazy rabbit hole, completely debunked that aliens are eating pets?
Aliens are fucking eating...
Are you okay, Mr. Chairman?
Are you okay?
Last year, for a very long time, you tweeted and promoted Kanye West as he was calling for genocide against the Jews.
You're right.
Kept it up. And now, when we have victims coming here, you're tweeting this nonsense. I don't know why you would do this. I hope you're okay. I don't know if the aliens who are eating your ducks are in the room with us right now, but Mr. Chairman, this is a serious issue. These people have loved ones who have been lost. And you tweeted this.
What's so weird is that, yeah, so he right, sir, it's called a joke. Exactly, Raimundo. But it's weird that why does he just say straight up aliens? Why doesn't he say like immigrants, something like that? I think it just adds to the absurdity of this that he's just saying aliens. I don't know, because we obviously know that he means foreigners, right? Like from another country. But I don't know. I just thought it was kind of. It's just anyway. This is just kind of funny that it made it all the way here. These memes. So this is the most powerful meme in the world right now. Let's just put it that way. Dang it. Now what? Oops. What I'm gonna try to find is. Oh yeah, there's also this one. Oh my gosh. So hilarious. There we go. Just for later when I get a screen grab or something like that. But yeah, but there was an interesting article that it talked about. Okay, so there's one more thing I got to get to. I'm kind of not. I messed up and I didn't save it. So let me see if I can find it real quick. I'm gonna do Daily Wire, Haitian immigrants, food packaging. All right, I'm gonna try to do this. All right, we'll do this one first. All right, what you need to know about the Ohio town overrun. I feel like if we showed this muse to a medieval peasant, yeah, he would just. This is what the world's coming to in the future. So, residents of Springfield, Ohio, are voicing outrage after the sudden influx of Haitian immigrants have sparked numerous social issues, overwhelmed services, and worsened the housing crisis. Up to 20,000 immigrants have moved to Springfield in the last few years, according to the mayor's governor. The last census data showed that the city with a population of 58,000 people, meaning the sudden influx is about a third of the town's population, which is crazy. Here are the residents' concerns, and this is what JD Vance was highlighting. Residents speaking at city commission meetings over the last few months have complained about the influx of migrants who have special legal status per the Biden-Harris administration. A resident named Anthony Harris said that August 27 meeting that migrants are grabbing ducks in the park and eating them. They're in the park grabbing ducks by their necks, cutting their... Yeah. So it's a lot of reports, right? Okay, so this is not the one. All right, here it is. This is it. I think this is it. It's not just Springfield. This small town in Pennsylvania is overrun by Haitian migrants, too. As covered by the Daily Wire, Springfield, Ohio has seen a massive influx of Haitians since 2020. But Springfield is the only town struggling with the sudden influx. So it's Charleroi, Pennsylvania. Charleroi, but I'm going to say Charleroi. Pennsylvania seen a 2,000% increase in its immigration population the last 2 years, with the majority coming from Haiti. The small town had a population of about 4,200 in 22. So 2,000. What does that mean? Like four times as many? 5? I don't even know. That's a lot, right? Anyway, residents are similar problems as Springfield citizens. For one, driving in the area has become increasingly hazardous because they're getting those driver's licenses. They don't know how to read traffic signs. That's because they're getting cut, like they're allowed to cut to the line. They don't have to do actually driver's tests. They don't have to do driver's training beforehand, before doing their test. They don't have to do anything like that. Cars going the wrong way. 3 bad accidents less than 1 month. Something needs to be done. 1, okay, let's see. Is this still not the one? Okay, so this is still not the one. Ohio government takes action. Damn, I don't even know if I'll be able to find it. Let's see. Maybe they have. I think it was a Daily Wire. Was it? Anyway, this is frustrating. So anyway, there's basically this dude who is kind of like a rich, wealthy guy who is kind of facilitating the acquiring of all the different services, getting these Haitian immigrants jobs and stuff like that. And what he's being, what's coming out is that he most likely is skimming the tops off of their wages. So they get paid a certain amount of money, I think like $14 or $15 an hour to work at these food distribution plants or food processing plants. And this guy who got them jobs is also supposedly skimming off the top. Unfortunately, I cannot find the article to talk about that, so I'm just gonna have to say, yeah, let's see. Haitian immigrants. All Springfield bomb. Okay, so here's another thing. All Springfield bomb threats were actually hoaxes. Some originated overseas. Immigrants being underpaid? No way, right? I know. Imagine my shock. Yeah. So Ohio Republican Governor Mike DeWine revealed that. So that's actually like a big problem. Like immigrants are always getting exploited and stuff like that. Like I know, like on the right, we kind of can criticize the immigrants themselves so much, but I don't think that's fair, to be honest, because honestly, they're just being given a lot of incentive to come here. Incentives that native citizens of the United States aren't even getting. So. And obviously, if you can get him a bunch of jobs, like, oh, what was that movie that really controversial movie that just came out? Where I think it's a Mexican boy who he can't really speak the rest. I think it's called City of Dreams or City of Dreams, something like that. Where basically he wants to become a soccer player, and then, but he lives in like some rural area of Mexico, and he ends up getting brought out to. He has a chance to join a soccer training camp in Los Angeles, in California somewhere. And what ends up happening is they have this flyer that whoever scouted this boy ends up actually being connected to a U.S. based but in L.A. like a clothing manufacturer that's like an underground clothing manufacturer, and he ends up. Basically, it's slave labor. So there's actually slavery that still goes on today that actually a lot of people don't even know. And a lot of it, that's why human trafficking is not just sex trafficking. It's like, it's actually like slavery, trying to get people to work in literal sweatshops in the United States, not overseas, but in the United States, in downtown LA. And kids are forced to work there, and they're promised that, if they can make a certain amount of money or work up to a certain level, then they'll be free to kind of free from the sweatshop and be able to like become an American citizen or something like that. But that's just like a promise they used to keep the people there, stuff like that. But it was a movie that came out just a few weeks ago. So if you haven't seen it, I recommend seeing that. I think it's called City of Dreams, something like that. Oh yeah, so voodoo's real, yeah. So I'll lose it on the floor. So it's full. Haitian migrant allowed into U.S. under Biden accused to be raped. So Haitian migrant. Cool. I like how Mexicans are seen as good at soccer in the U.S. while they keep getting their ass handed to them. That's just because they're local, I guess. I don't know. That's funny. I think it's just because Mexicans just that are I guess Mexican Americans, you could say. Mexico's considered international, and so soccer is very popular in these more international kind of. Soccer's not really popular in the United States, so that's kind of like when we see a bunch of Mexican Americans or whatever in the United States, we just see them as they really like soccer. Like that seems to be something in. Anyway, but my family likes really soccer a lot, actually. Let's see. I don't think I'm able to find it. Dang it. It was such a good article, too. Really fascinating. But I'm just going to close all that. I wonder if I'll accidentally find it. But, yeah. Oh, well. In other news... In other news, Dr. Disrespect remains YouTube's #2 gaming streamer despite controversy over messaging a minor. Well, messaging a minor is not illegal. I'll just leave it at that. Actually, you know what's crazy is like I ended up staying up late. Looks like soccer got a boost in popularity since the Miami team bought. Oh, right, in the United States. Yeah. I forgot that Messi came in. I think it was what? Actually, I'm not. Unfortunately, I don't follow soccer that well. My family, some members of my family do, but not me. But anyway, what did I want to say? Oh, the other thing that I wanted to bring up about streamers was I was watching earlier this morning. It was like 2:33 in the morning. I was up really late because I took a late nap and then ended up waking up again at like 7 or 8 and then staying up till like 3 or 4 in the morning. So it's kind of my sleep schedule's kind of got off. But on YouTube, the big streamer who's traveling around right now, what's his name? I Show Speed. That crazy dude. When I started watching his stream, he had 250,000 live concurrent viewers. He's currently live streaming from Indonesia. I watched for like maybe like 20 or 30 minutes because I was like tripping out on how many people were watching because the number kept growing. By the time I was like, okay, I just got to go to bed because it's 20, 30 minutes of me watching a streamer that I never watch. Dude, when I stopped watching the stream, 650,000 concurrent viewers. I like, isn't that a record? Like I've never heard about that. I mean, let me try to find out right now. 650,000. Let's see if I can pull up the live stream. I'm gonna do iShow Speed live stream. Today. Live. Okay, bro. Yo. Okay. Oh my gosh, look at this. Look at this. This was streamed 16 hours ago. He streamed for 3 hours and 47 minutes, right? 18 million. Bro. Oh, what's up, Amanda? Welcome. All right. Yeah, no problem. If you want to catch up, you can just rewind. A Spanish streamer once had 1 million concurrent viewers. Ibai, I think was saying. Okay, that is crazy. I don't know what he got up to, but I think it's just because I think live streaming is just crazy popular in some other countries, and Indonesia just happens to be one of the ones where, where it's the crazy. They love their streamers over there. The part of the streamer that, and dude, iShow Speed is, that guy's strange. He's definitely a showman, but kind of a goofy showman for kids kind of deal. But I don't know, bro. The fact that he can get 650K like that, and he probably got more, but he was going through like a haunted house or something like that, which is funny because I used to help out one of my neighborhood friends' family. They used to every Halloween they would make a like a haunted house in their front yard, in their backyard, like a little haunted house maze, and we used to always be able to help out. It was so freaking cool, dude. Let me see if there's anything crazy about let's say iShow Speed Indonesia live stream max concurrent viewers. Okay. iShow Speed records staggering number of viewers in biggest stream ever. The streamer is quickly entering a league of his own when it comes to viewers. Alright, so iShow Speed has cemented himself as an internet sensation with many viral moments, and his latest stream broke his personal records. Okay, so there was 14 million all the way through, but what was the actual live concurrent? All right. Yeah, he was tripping out about how many people were watching. Of course, why wouldn't he? Oh, man. How boring. Why even make an article if you can't even... Okay, so this person says 612, but no, dude, it was 650. It was 650 when I left, so I know that that's not true. Oh wait, 1 million? Oh, so he did do it. Dude, he just hit 1 million. IShowSpeed burst into tears after hitting 1 million live viewers during Asia stream. YouTube says IShowSpeed couldn't contain his emotions after reaching 1 million live viewers during a live stream of his tour Asia, overwhelmed by the number as it popped up on his screen while surrounded by his adoring fans. Yeah, dude, the fact that he could just be out in public like that doing crazy things and just have all these people around him, that's wild, bro. So he hit on September 18th, live in Indonesia, Speed hit 1 million live viewers, something that very few social streamers have done or could ever dream of hitting. 1 million live viewers, bro. 1 million viewers, thank you all so much. Oh my gosh. Okay, so he peaked at 1,043,000. That's the number. Crazy. That is wild. I wonder, I can't remember, didn't PewDiePie in like 2015 or 2016 go to Indonesia, or was it Malaysia? And it was like the Beatles coming to town. It was like so many people. So yeah, those like South Pacific Asian countries really love their live streamers and YouTubers, you know, their internet celebrities. That's wild. 1,043,028 viewers. That's so crazy. Anyway. Hey, I really wish I could find that one. Alright. Well. There's some other things I wanted to talk about. Let's see. Where's my telefono? Alright, good. I'm recording. Okay, I'm gonna do that. I wish I could have found that one article, but can't. Alright, so the next thing I wanted to talk about is Grave of the Fireflies, which is an old Studio Ghibli film. Is now on Netflix. And I found out about that because of this one Japanese streamer that I've been watching lately, a new streamer who who's learning English. Alright, so I'm just going to pull all these articles up. Actually, hold on. Let me do it in a private. Oh, yeah, I have them all right here. Cool. Alright, so I don't know if y'all into anime or whatever, but I'm only bringing this up because... Alright, so we'll go to this one first. So, Studio Ghibli's most how would you say? Studio Ghibli, most heartbreaking movie finds a new streaming home on Netflix, Grave of the Fireflies. And so Grave of the Fireflies just came out September 16th to Netflix. And it seems that this movie didn't actually come into Netflix until just recently, even though all the other Studio Ghibli films came out in, this article was written in 2020, I think. The only one that didn't. So basically, all of the other Studio Ghibli films made it to Netflix, but there was one that wasn't, and that didn't come. That was Grave of the Fireflies. And so the streamer that I was watching, I'll pull up my comment real quick. Let me just find out. Okay. The studio, or hold on, what am I talking about? The studio. Hold on, history. Yo, where is this video? Where did video? Okay, here we go. Alright, so this streamer, or this video maker, we watched one of her videos before. Her name is Shika. And so she talked about some John Mayer song named something like Olivia to explain her name of her song, whatever. Anyway, but then she talked about Grave of the Fireflies. And so I actually made a comment. I wonder if, so she basically said that she was talking about how this oops, let me not leave it on a, yeah. Basically so basically she was talking about how she was surprised to see this movie coming to so late to Netflix 4 years later. And I think it came to Netflix in Japan. And so we're kind of thinking like, why wasn't it originally part of it? And so I wrote, I wonder if Studio Ghibli thought maybe the setting of the Grave of Fireflies is too sensitive for Japanese and US markets. That's because I've never seen Grave of the Fireflies, but from what I understand, it's dealing with a story about that took place right after World War II ended in Japan, so in like 1945, 1946. And so we obviously know that Japan and the US were enemies during World War II, and we did the bomb drop, unfortunately, or fortunately, I don't know. It's a tough situation. I'm not going to say one way or another, but it has to do with the aftermath of that. And I guess what's interesting about this story is that overall, Grave of the Fireflies, from what I understand, is about just the aftermath of the war. It's not trying to put blame on one side of one country or another, but because it doesn't do that, I wonder if maybe Japan kind of, I don't know. So I think that's kind of what. So that's why I kind of said like maybe because of the subject matter there was an issue. But I told her that would be my first guess. But because I know that when Japanese kind of talk about World War II, they don't really acknowledge a lot of stuff. Like I remember seeing videos about what do Japanese people think about World War II, and a lot of them don't actually know too much about it. And I don't know if that's because there's a public shame about kind of what happened and what they're responsible for, but then there's also just the atrocity of the bomb being dropped on them. So, but then we wrote, so another guess, maybe there are licensing distribution conflicts for Netflix in those two countries for the streaming rights to Grave of the Fireflies. Maybe some other company has the rights to the movie in those markets and Netflix couldn't acquire them. I haven't seen Grave of the Fireflies, but since you mentioned it, I'll watch it soon. I watched The Boy and the Heron and it was a sad movie. Yeah, I watched The Boy and the Heron at the end of last year, I think, when it came out in the movie theaters. So anyway, she actually responded and she just wrote, I see. So I was like, let me see if I can do a little bit more research. So that's when I found these other articles, and it turns out my hunch my hunch was correct. So Bryce Cooley, all these non-white countries are third world. Which ones? Anyway, I don't think Japan's first world, right? They're non-white. So anyway, why isn't it part of the Netflix deal? And that's because one of the main reasons the United States and Canada did not receive access to the Ghibli library through Netflix is due to HBO Max, which previously purchased the streaming rights in the United States and Canada for the Ghibli library in its entirety. So naturally, streaming rights, especially for a company like Studio Ghibli, are very difficult. While seemingly every streaming service provides access to some films, blah, 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 blah. Some studios are more selective, offering exclusive deals. So Grave of the Fireflies was one of those exclusive deals. It was actually available on Hulu during this time, but Netflix just couldn't get the rights. So that's what ended up being the case. But now it's Netflix acquired the rights. So Grave of the Fireflies is on Netflix. So I'm gonna have to hit up my family and go check this film out, because they got Netflix. I do not. I was going to have to do other. So yeah, so here it is. Grave of the Fireflies now. And then what else? So it was actually originally released in 1988. And Studio Ghibli still put off a miracle with Fireflies, which is exquisite hand-drawn animation that brings the art to life. So yeah, some of the look. I mean, like look, even just look at this. Look at that. That looks so beautiful. So 1988. So definitely interested in checking that movie out. I haven't really watched too many Studio Ghibli films, but I think this is going to be on my watch list soon. So, have any of you guys seen Grave of the Fireflies? One of these articles I was reading was talking about how let's see, how basically the streaming rights were actually really hard. You have Raimundo. How did you like it? Did you think it was good? So here, Grave of the Fireflies is based on. So yeah, it's actually based on a semi-autobiographical short story by the late Akiyuki Nosaka. Yeah, Ghibli is great. Who passed away in 2015 at age 85. Oh yeah, I think I remember. Oh no, never mind. The tragedies Nosaka experienced in life, such as losing sisters in malnutrition, his adoptive father being killed by the 1948 bombing of Kobe in World War II, would inspire the events of the short story animated movie. Grave of the Fireflies won the 58th Naoki Prize in 1967, an award that recognizes excellence in Japanese literature. Nosaka also won Naoki Prize for American Hijiki, excuse me, another short story dealing with the war-torn generation. So, it seems that this adaptation of that story, so Grave of the Fireflies is based on this short story, right? And I guess like the rights for the story and for the film adaptation from Studio Ghibli like kept exchanging hands. So maybe that's also why 'cause I think what Shika was saying was that not even Netflix Japan had the rights to Grave of the Fireflies until recently either. Or maybe she was complaining that they still don't have it. I don't know, but I think it has to do with the rights. But the conspiracy theory part is they don't like the content because I think this dude kind of doesn't. It's it's brutal reality, somber tone, tearjerker story about those who suffered in World War II, and yeah, of course, the horrific consequences of war and the human usage of nuclear weaponry. But so let's see. Okay, so this is actually an older article then, because this is talking about when it was coming out. Yeah, or let me see. Maybe I don't understand what's going on, but nonetheless, Grave of the Fireflies is on Netflix now. But yeah, I was also reading something interesting about how the story itself was like there's gonna be a different film or a different story that one guy was gonna write that was gonna be really controversial about. Even though he was Japanese, he was gonna be critical of the Japanese government. So that's what I was thinking. Like maybe they didn't want to. But he ended up dying before that story got written or that whatever. Anyway, I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. So yeah, so I wanted to talk about that. Let's see, what else did I want to talk about? I already talked about PS5 Pro. And then oh yeah, so I had a couple, speaking of Japan, since we're on the subject, I had a couple videos from a dude named the Japan Reporter, who used to be called Find Your Love in Japan. And he had some interesting playlists. Watch later on live thing. All right. These had to do with Japan's poverty and distrust in politics and the rising and Japan's rise of enjoying solitude. So these two videos kind of have to do with the themes of like loneliness and politics and in Japan, and also I've been getting suggested like a lot of, well, probably just because I've been watching more Japanese style videos, but a lot of people talking about how lonely they are, yo. Those inside those three stripes, Raymondo, are there's so much power. But yeah, I talked about PS5 Pro a little bit earlier, and what I talked about there was that the most interesting thing that I'm interested in, I guess, with it is how PSSR is going to work, which is their upscaler resolution upscaler, and to basically make like how clean will it get making a lower resolution image look 4K and stuff like that, because usually like with DLSS, deep learning super sampling from NVIDIA, that is, and then FSR, whatever F screen something, I forgot what FSR stands for, from AMD, but basically I'm interested in seeing how game developers for consoles start, now that they can count on a super resolution upscaler like this, an AI upscaler, since they can now count on this to be a consistent thing in the PS5 Pro, for instance. How will that change game development? And then I also want to know, like, a lot of the problems with upscalers are usually like shimmering and just like and dithering and stuff like that, where the image doesn't look that stable, right? So I'm wondering, like, well, if developers now can for sure develop, you know, reliably that the console has a upscaler, how will they develop their game around it? And is there workarounds that will start to be implemented to make you know, basically, long story short, now that they will be making and developing games with PSSR in mind, how good can games look with using that technology? Because right now we have it on PC, right? But and then very mildly on the consoles. But it seems like since there's so many different PC configurations, game developers will have a hard time implementing an upscaler into their games, right? So they can't really spend a huge part of their budget like super ironing it out unless they have like one of those like personal deals with Nvidia or AMD or whatever. Like I think usually Call of Duty has some kind of deal or whatever, but some games will have a specific deal where Nvidia techs will actually work with the game studio to develop and implement DLSS. But with consoles, since consoles are way more widely available, right, and if more and more people get a PS5 Pro, then you know it incentivizes developers to kind of always create with that in mind. So anyway, I'm really interested in seeing that. Plus, I like the idea of how they're, you know, there's a separate part for the with the SoC, the system on chip. There's a separate part specifically for upscaling. There's a separate part specifically for ray tracing, and there's a specific part you know, for the GPU, right? The raw horsepower of the GPU. So if you are able to like separate these things out, like how much better can games look, you know? Because the good thing about consoles is that certain things get standardized. Now, like for instance, upscaling got started on PC, but I think it's going to find a economical way of it's going to find a more economical, widespread way in the consoles. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Anyway, I'm not explaining that really well, but moving on. I'm gonna watch a couple videos about poverty and distrust in politics in Japan. So here is the first video. It's only 7 minutes, and so every country has different reasons for its poverty, but what are the main causes in Japan? So yeah, we're kind of learning about this, you know, tricky situation in Ohio with immigrants and poverty. Nice. That's so funny. I know. I you know, if it sounded like I knew what I was talking about, you were nodding, you know, properly. You know, that was the right response. That was the right response. Anyway, so since we're kind of on the topic of, you know, people being impoverished, I guess, you know, let's see what it's like in Japan. More importantly, why do we still let it be? Because you know, their poverty in Japan, since they are a monoculture, mostly Japanese people, they don't have so much problem with you know, immigration, like the stresses you could say from immigration, even though they probably need to come up with some good ideas or plans because of their sinking birth rate, so they need to figure out how to keep their economy and stuff going. But more importantly, why do we still let it be even though it's clearly worsening with the falling birth rate? So poverty, birth rate, why don't half of us even go to vote? So it almost seems like, and how do we still improve the birth rate? So that's obviously some interesting topics because they've been in the news in the United States. But Japan has like a really low birth rate. And they kind of have the opposite problem where, you know, in our country, we have a lot of immigration happening and it's leading to poverty. But then you have situations where there's not enough immigration and they're still being impoverished. So I'm just interested in see what I can learn about maybe some of the causes of these kinds of situations. So let's see. This is a video from the Japan Reporter. Here is his channel. I'll just put a link if you want to look at it later. I should probably put it in afterwards so that nobody navigates away, but you do what you want. All right. So Japan's poverty and distrust in politics. Okay, let me... Oh my gosh. Am I going to have to turn on this? Because sometimes it's hard to understand him. Let's see. I think that looks good, right? Alright.
Poverty has been rising, especially among the young, for the three big reasons according to a book I've recently read. Just like the US, college is more and more expensive, while scholarship's not available much yet.
Okay, so it looks like he's talking about education costs at first. He's just talking really fast. But yeah, so one potential reason might be rising college prices,
So
tuition.
many young people shoulder student loans, and their wage is not nearly enough to start a family. Companies being increased.
Okay, so families coming out of, or students graduating from college are not finding jobs that are able to pay enough for them to start managing a family, so that affects birth rates.
The percentage of non-regular ones for this decade.
By the way, how's the volume? Can you guys, it seems like it's okay here, but I don't know how you guys are.
So that they could cut down their labor costs. But from a worker's perspective, this is quite hard.
Okay, so non-regular employment, meaning little low? Okay. So it seems like because companies are trying to cut costs, they are trying to kind of modify the job positions that they offer so something kind of irregular.
この人はどこでカバーしますか、じゃあどの人から切りますか、じゃあ非正規雇用の人から切りましょうっていうふうな、まあ、
Oh, and so because they create so many non-regular kind of positions just to fill in these like little gaps, they don't always need these jobs, and so they're easily letting go a lot of people, and so it's an unstable position. It's like being only able to have like a part-time job, and you don't ever be able to make enough money to support a family, and because you really can't even rely on that job for an extended amount of time, which is actually very unlike Japan. That's why I think they're calling them non-traditional or unstable or whatever they said. Usually when you get a job in Japan, from what I understand, the job is something you, like if you work for a big company, like that's like a lifetime job. Like you're not encouraged, or you're not incentivized to leave the job, because the corporations will give you so much benefits and things like that in order to keep you there.
流れというか、一本立ちしてる感覚がないからチェックができないよ、お金がないっていうのを理由にして先送りにするっていうことだよね。
As the population is aging, more and more young people have to quit full-time jobs and work part-time to take care of their parents, so that their income gets down. Anyway, even though this poverty...
Okay, so aging society. So it seems like what he's saying is that because so many parents are becoming older and older, when their children hit a certain age, the children start taking care of the parents. So that means they have less time to be able to work, or they spend all their money caring for their parents and thus don't have enough left over to start their own family. And it seems like also if more and more people get caregiver kind of jobs, even if they get a job doing caregiving, it seems like that kind of job, because it doesn't actually produce anything, doesn't actually create more income. It kind of, you end up allocating more towards a kind of like a vacuum. You know what I'm trying to say? Because no production is, it's like usually people who are older, a lot of these caregiver places, they're either relying on their government, Japan equivalent of Social Security or whatever, but it's not actually a job that produces something, so it doesn't replace money.
among the
Inverted triangle population phenomena. Yeah. I think I know a little bit about that.
young clearly equals the...
But yeah, so non-regular. Everything goes to shit, basically.
Worse, even worse. Many people say the government doesn't seem to put the focus on them much.
So the problems are obvious, but the government isn't willing to fix it. But I think what he's going to say, based on the description, is that are people voting? Or maybe they stop voting because they feel like the government doesn't even listen.
Obviously, like, problems to me, like lack of daycare, the working hours are too long, the salaries are too low, but the price of everything is increasing. Who would want to have a child? How do you raise a family on salary that hasn't risen in 30 years? It's hard, right?
ギリギリの活発の子たちにチャンスあげた方が、俺の工場でも周りにいっぱいいるしさ、給与が少ないチャンスがもらえない。晩婚遅れてしちゃうとさ、その子供がじゃあ1年後。
Okay, so this dude feels like as a factory worker, he doesn't get a high enough rate of pay, and that means he has to save up money for longer, which means he has to wait to have a family at a later age. And the older you get, you might not be young enough to raise the children well, which kind of then all of a sudden your children are helping you, and it's that much harder for them to get on their feet, and that cycle keeps continuing on through the generations. And
妊娠して生まれました、20歳になりました。そこら辺で後からそんな感じになるから。そこら辺
yeah,
で
okay, that's what he's saying.
ちょ
Yeah.
っとやっぱり今のうち手を打ってもらいたい。
But despite of what he said, he's not trusting the government and doesn't expect they could make the situation better.
どうにかうまく先の先の
So hopelessness in the government.
腹の中で持ってるかっていうのはいまいちよく分かってねえのが実情。
He doesn't even think the government cares about the
そういう
country.
イメージもある。おじいちゃんになってて
Nothing
そこら
changes.
辺を鑑みると、まあやっぱり若い人
Many people also feel the same way and giving up on the government and don't even feel like going to vote.
次の総理大臣が今度また変わるじゃないですか。
So they have a similar thing where a great portion of the population doesn't feel like voting does anything. They feel like the government isn't listening. And that's very similar to United States situation. You know, we're very divided in our country. So it's like, I wonder what will happen. Obviously, so Japanese is completely different culturally. So how they're responding to that similar situation is obviously different. But is there going to become a great split, or is it just people gonna just be tuning out? You know what I'm trying to say? I feel like maybe more and more people just tune out. It seems like that, because at least in the United States, I mean, I say at least, but there's controversy. There's like a lot of infighting between. It's almost, you know, the left and the right are very much conflicting and at odds with each other. So they're like, each is incentivized to kind of like speak up about what they believe in, right? But if you're not used to speaking up in a culture like Japan, which, you know, a lot of people keep their opinions to themselves for the sake of social harmony. The downside to that is that everyone feels like something should be done, but no one really wants to step up and get something done. You know what I mean? Like, because they don't want to be the odd man out. So it's kind of an interesting dynamic.
何の期待もしないですよね。変わっても同じなんですか。
Doesn't matter who becomes the prime minister. Except what's wild is, wasn't there, didn't Prime Minister, what was his name? He was a prime minister during the time of when George Bush was president here. What's his name? He was assassinated. They literally had somebody go up and you know, game end this guy right in a public place like a year or two ago. So I wonder what's really going on over there, you know? Look at this. The reason why they have this, I bet, is because of the very real threat of their leaders being taken out, which is just horrible. Dude, maybe they don't even feel like they can stand up because that guy, what's his name? I gotta pull it up now. Former Japan PM. What was his name? Yeah, Shinzo Abe. Yeah, Raimundo. Yeah, you said it. Shinzo Abe. This dude, I think he was more of a conservative leader in Japan, right? I think he was kind of moving towards re-entering politics as more of like a populist type of candidate, similar to Donald Trump. I'm not 110% sure if he was going to the extreme route of Donald Trump, but he was definitely, I think, going to start appealing more to populism, and they offed that guy, you know? So I wonder if that put a chill factor into this situation. Okay, so he's talking about declining fertility and government policies being infertile. Look at who bothers going to vote.
Japanese people trusting the government and claims that more people,
So the young people are shunning politics, leaving power with the elderly.
should go to vote, as the burden on the young may gonna get even bigger.
Nobita. This guy's the one who runs the channel. This is his channel. So basically, this dude's been voting for the last 10 years, and he feels like young people should not give up voting, and they should not give up putting their voice into government. He says maybe there are some good politicians, and he wants to believe that they could change for the better.
But most young people I talk to say the opposite and claim that we still
Voting
can't
wouldn't make
rely
things
on
better in
government.
Japan.
結局その今じゃあ投票に行こう。
Even me, Christopher,
確かに投票も大事かもしれないんですけど、政治家が解決できないからこそ今この状況が広がってるんじゃないのっていうのが、まあ今若者が抱えてる課題ってもちろんいろんな問題があると思うんですけど、7割
Raimundo, I agree with you, but it seems like they are 70, 80% of us.
何かしら生活苦しい。
Okay, that's a lot of people. Dude, yeah, dang. But I wonder what we'll be able to get Japanese people to kind of be reinvigorated to kind of vote again. Like, what kind of change in their perception? Maybe part of the trouble again is that they're unwilling to vote for a controversial politician. Maybe and because even though they would like to, they probably don't do it for social reasons, you know? Maybe, I don't know. But maybe they got to just understand the situation. Dang, it's a tough situation.
解決できるならしたらいいと思うんですけど、そうじゃない。
よく投票率が低いと関心が低いって言われちゃうんですけど、アンケートなんかを取ると割と日本の若者こんなことが問題
So they're aware of the social issues young people are, but
そこに関心は
they're interested in them.
それとその投票
But it doesn't lead to going to vote, okay?
信頼感っていうのがやっぱり日本の方が低いですよね。
Huh.
何が違うのみたいな話が
Look at them.
それが結構なんか一番違うかなと思います。だからなんか会話が生まれないかというところですかね。やっぱり日本だと政治家になる人ってもう自分たちの世界とはかけ離れている人に見えていて、だからそういう人
That's something I've heard about Japanese government is it's so heavily bureaucratic that it takes forever for policy changes to occur. And I guess that's one of the ways that Japan kind of insulates itself from foreign influence, to be honest, because yeah, anyway, I'll just say that.
たちがやっている政治ってすごく遠いものに
やっぱり冷めた目で見ちゃいますね、いろんなことをね。なんかこの人たちどうせあと10年後にはいないんだよねみたいな人たちが
Yo?
一生懸命なんか今後の日本とか言われても。
もうこれは完全に選挙制度にあると思っていまして、
Okay. The electoral system itself?
そして世襲であったりとか、
Okay.
強い政党に入っている方々が当選してくると。
So they seem to have a similar situation to the United States where it's the establishment politicians are so entrenched that it's hard for newcomers to be elected.
やはり日本って
So that's really what you need is you need a Trump-like figure over there, yo. But see, that's Trump's the Trump personality is something very, very American. For Japan to have somebody like that would be very controversial in their country. I mean, obviously, look how it's very American to have a guy like Trump, but at the same time, like so many Americans are easily fed up with that guy, you know? So imagine what that would be like in Japan. I mean, crazy. Yeah. So Raimondo says that in his country, young people do not trust the old political parties and the luck that they have formed. But when new parties appeared about 6 years ago, young people voted again for these two parties. Okay, yeah. So that's that. Yeah, I think that's exactly what you're saying is what Japan kind of needs to realize is that maybe Japanese young people need to actually be the ones to step up and organize themselves and find out some things that they can commonly believe on. But again, hopefully they just need to be able to find the time because it seems like they're overworked and not making enough money. But yeah, yeah. Huge money and risk to run for an election. That's yeah.
賃金が上がったりとか安全な職場が用意されるのかって言ったらそうじゃない。投票っていうのが手段には見えるんですけど、そうじゃなくて。私の立場からすると、そういう疑問が出てくるわけです。
But yeah, it almost seems don't give up. Remember, never give up. You know what I mean? That old meme, like Japan, the young people, don't give up. Vote. Or at least start talking about stuff. Talk about what matters to you and address these things, even amongst yourselves. Maybe that's too hard, but I don't know. I don't think so.
Some of the politicians in Japan don't even acknowledge it and claims that young people already happy today.
I bet you. Okay. Oh, wait. I think this guy's a controversial guy in Japan, actually. He says really off-the-wall things. So he's a very non-traditional kind of politician, from what I understand. So let's see what he says. Half of Japan's voters don't even go to vote. You need to think why they don't. Yeah, you know what? Maybe that's a good point, is that because things are so comfortable in Japan right now, young people are just like, they're kind of lulled into complacency, you know? They don't really feel the danger of having like a low birth rate. Like that's something you don't, like that's something that's going to hit when all of a sudden all their parents are going to be, I mean, I guess it is already happening, but so there must be movements like this in Japan, but they must be small. For example, Japanese feminist movement is tiny over there. Yeah, I don't personally think feminism itself is the answer, but I do think that something needs to be, the pot needs to be stirred over there. Maybe it will take some kind of like non-traditional thing like that to kind of start raising its voice in order for more and more people to start, you know, you got to start somewhere, I guess. So anyway, what was I going to say about this? I forgot. Okay, so our constitution engagement, yeah. So there's certain complacency that seems apparent. I mean, look how beautiful that area is. Like, have you just seen those videos where people just take a GoPro, 4K GoPro, and they just go walk around the cities? Like, Japan does such a good job of maintaining everything that you don't ever really sense, maybe as a citizen there, I could imagine that maybe you don't ever sense like the dire situation that they're in. As long as you're on welfare, you have a secure life forever. In the late Showa period, actually, I learned what the Showa period was. I think it's like early 1900s to the 1980s, I think. And I think I learned it from that other YouTuber I was mentioning earlier named Shika, the Japanese one, who talked about Grave of the Fireflies. Anyway, whatever. So when they say Showa period, they're talking about the period from like up to the 1980s, from like the late 1900s to up to the 1980s, before the bubble burst. Young people don't even try to seek wealthy things. But yeah, they all, maybe they just retreated, yo. They just retreated into the Matrix. Sounds like me when I was at Starbucks. I just wanted to go home. I didn't want to go promote. I wanted to go home. Yeah, young people are happy now. Yeah. Damn. That could be said even here in the United States. Even me, I'm identifying with that. I don't know. We're basically like, we have this culture that's, you know, through the internet that's just being served to us on like a platter, right? And like, it's so easy just to feel connected, right? With online stuff, that we kind of leave the real world aside. And which is interesting because in Japan, hikikomori, or like social withdrawal, is like it's like literally like a psychological condition, or maybe behavioral condition of a lot of people, a lot of young people in Japan. Anyway, kind of just tuning out. Yeah, that's what I was saying. So in other countries, he's saying that in other countries, you know, they live in more dangerous environment, so voting is, you know, part of, you know, they sense their life in danger, so they go out and they vote. But they don't sense the danger in Japan because it's kind of, yeah, everything seems happy on the surface. It's kind of self-sufficient or self-focused.
お金がないから子供産まないなんてありえないじゃないですか。今よりも圧倒的に貧乏。
Interesting.
少子化対策の一番の効果は国民を貧しくすれば少子化対策は解消される。だからお金がないから子供産まないって言ってる人たちこそ。
So yeah, so he's talking about how in Africa they have kids all the time. They don't think anything about, you know, poverty being something to hold them back from having kids. Even in early 1900s Japan, it seems like everybody was poor, but they were still having kids. So that excuse is just not the same today, or like is that excuse didn't have merit back then. So why should it have merit today? Somehow, you know. Now, I'm sure there's a lot of sophisticated things to contradict, you know, oh, it was bad. Anyway, whatever. You know what I'm trying to say. Whatever. Let's see what more of these guys to say. So maybe it's a type of brainwashing. Was that it? Wait, what? Whoa. Was that it? Oh, yeah, it just ended like that. So he just ends. We'd rather make, he says, those who say we can't have kids without incomes, they're brainwashed. Okay. All right, so that was first interesting. All right, let's see. There must be moves like that in Japan. I don't think that's the reason. What were you saying? Which reason? Did I misunderstand this dude?
Poverty's been
this guy is very controversial, I think, in Japan, political leader. Yeah, I can't have children because I'm broke. Back in the day, they didn't say that. So I think, did I miss something? So we want to increase the fertility rate. We'd rather make our citizens poorer. Well, okay, that's a weird way to put it. Those who say we can't have kids. Yeah. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Kind of an interesting situation. By the way, if you're enjoying the stream, leave a thumbs up on it. Yo, that would be nice. Oops. Literally refreshing the stream. Oh, let's see what happens. Anyway, wait, sorry. The whole people in Africa keep having kids, even if they're poor, because they aren't brain. Yeah, see, yeah, it is a weird situation. I think there's definitely, it's a controversial statement to put it like that, but maybe he is kind of trying to point something out. By using a controversial statement similar to JD Vance saying they're eating the cats and dogs in Ohio, but I think there is a degree of truthfulness. I wouldn't necessarily say that this would apply to Africa because, you know, Africa is just so poor that they don't. At least many places are. It seems to me. Yeah, I don't really know. I think there's other issues that are the case, but it is kind of crazy how Africa has an insane birth rate, right? But the thing I was gonna say that is understandable is I think to a degree the idea that you can't have kids till later is a certain level of brainwashing. Like, because we're taught so much, like back in the day. Yeah. Okay, so Africa's really huge. Yeah. I don't think the situation applies to Africa. I would agree with you. I don't think so. I guess to finish my other point, I was gonna say that like in more first world countries with declining birth rates, it does seem like it's maybe brainwashing isn't the right word, but there's definitely like a propaganda or a messaging out there that says don't have kids, you know, and there's all these reasons why you shouldn't have kids. And yet if we don't have kids, society is going to collapse, right? Population collapse. And that's something like Elon Musk talks a lot about. on X. But anyway, what's interesting is that I think to his point is that being poor was never a reason in the past about why someone could not have children. Like they wouldn't be like, okay, I can't have kids, because back in the day, I guess you would have kids because children were like a way to expand wealth in a certain sense. But that's because of a different kind of lifestyle where there was more rural, so you had more, like for instance, you had more hands in the farm, you had more hands in the family to be able to like run the farm or run a ranch or whatever. And I'm just thinking of like places that have like a farm kind of background, I guess, like the United States or even parts of Europe, parts of Russia, or Eastern Europe. Even Africa is not really what I'm talking about, but anyway, where was I going with that? I wanted to say that there is a degree of truth to the notion that because people are more self-centered nowadays, they'd rather just be playing their video games. I even thought about this. I'm like, dang, man, if I were to have kids, there are many things that I would have to give up in order to be able to focus on them. And I don't know if I want to focus, or I don't know if I want to give up those things. And when I take note of that within myself, I'm like, oh, damn, that's kind of selfish of myself. But then you always hear the stories about people who just end up having kids and they feel like, dude, having kids was actually way better than anything I was doing before that. Now, obviously, there's always going to be some people who don't think that, and they literally don't care about their kids, and they're just going to still try to be selfish and do their own thing despite having kids, and then their kids grow up thinking exactly the same way. So before, people had more support networks for their children, family. Dude, I think you're so right about that, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Because, yeah, even the examples of the young people that, the things that I have in my head all have to do with internet connectivity in a certain sense, which kind of takes the place of actual interpersonal connectivity with your neighbors and stuff like that. Like, how often do you know your neighbors? And I think that's what this next video that I want to talk about is probably going to talk about. Oh, wait, hold on. Is it this? The Japan's rise of enjoying solitude. So I think that's why I wanted to watch these videos together, was because more people are just enjoying their alone time. But if they do that, then the social networks that people normally had, like you're pointing out, Raimundo, those social networks break down. And when they break down, the only cohesion to society would be like an outside, like the government itself, right? So if the government is the social cohesion for a society, maybe that's why Japan society is bifurcating, like between the managerial class and the normal society, because they're just like, there isn't really any human connection anymore. You know what I'm trying to say? So the bureaucrats just run the machine, and the people are fine with it as long as basic things are getting met. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. And now everyone wants to turn 18 and leave home and live in a super expensive apartment on minimum wage, and then they complain that they can't afford to have a child. Yeah, that's a good point. As if our parents and grandparents didn't live. Yeah, I know. It's honestly like even white people's families in this country, like it just seemed like more and more that idea that came to be on American TV of like the parents and the kids, and then that was it. But even there was like what other family shows, like what was the one with the really big family? From the 70s, the nuclear family. Yeah. But there was one. Anyway, I guess long story short, what I'm trying to say is, eventually the messaging, like, how often do white American families like actually keep their parents living with them, or keep their grandchildren living with them? It's like, it's so rare, and like you're saying, like most most teenagers, when the time they hit 18, just want to be away from their family. But I just think that like that's not a good thing. Especially, yeah, it's too difficult. It's just more and more difficult. Maybe because of the affluence of like the post-war era, like the 50s, because there was so much extra money right there from the leftovers of the wartime efforts, right? A lot of industry and stuff like that. Jobs were aplenty and money was aplenty, and so it made things possible that ordinarily weren't possible. And so people kind of got used to that. But now that things are starting to get more expensive again and things like that, they're forgetting their family. Anyway. So, I guess we could watch this next video. But how long have I been streaming for? For about 2 hours, 43. Yeah, not too long. I don't know. Do you guys want to watch another video, or should we move on to something else? But I don't know what else we move on to be honest. It's kind of delusional, like the idea of a soul. Yeah, well, the idea of a sole breadwinner. Unfortunately, I think like without that idea, it's really hard to have a family. But I think if you had like multiple people working, like maybe not, I don't think the mom should work, but I think like when you raise kids and have them become adults, you shouldn't just kick them out immediately. You should make your sons get jobs. You know what I'm trying to say? Make your sons get jobs and contribute to the household, because one day that household will be theirs. You know, you'll be able to pass it on to them. So if you had like grandparents, parents, and son and children, and the male figures of those of each generation like still contributing and working outside the house to bring income into the house, the women can run the house. You know what I mean? From a more traditional perspective. I'm not saying you have to be like that, but my opinion is it's probably the best to do it that way. That way your children have someone constantly there who loves them and could give them the proper nurturing and encouragement to be able to one day be be part of the breadwinner. Yeah, sole breadwinner. Yeah, to the degree that only one person in the entire household makes money, I think that is kind of a delusion, because it's kind of founded on like, oh, once you raise your kids, you just kick them out. It's like, no, you should not be kicking your kids out. In fact, I've seen more and more good advice on, for instance, on X and stuff like that, where, to your point about everybody wanting to turn 18 and leave, they say, no, you should actually stay home as long as you can until you're set to with a good house, with a good income. Maybe like your parents could help you save up money to buy your own house if worse comes to worse, or just take advantage, and until you get married and things like that. But you should also be contributing to the house when you're 18 for sure. I definitely think that, because why not? What do? Go pay somebody else to rent their apartment, but not pay your own parents to rent a room from them? Like, come on. Anyway, we can watch this if you want, or we can kind of take a break from watching this kind of shit and like listen to some música. Like, we can go back and watch. Yeah, 100%, Raimondo. That's what I agree with. That's what I think. That's what I think we should do. But we know what we should do. We should listen to that good old city pop. The good old city pop that made that brought all the Japanese people from the rural areas, from the country, into the city. And got them started. Here, I'm trying to look for my window so that I can... There we go. Alright, here we go. I think it's time to listen to some good old city pop. Is that loud enough? I'm gonna go turn the light up real quick. Raimundo, are you gonna visit Japan one day? Ah, dang it. Dang, I want to go to Japan so bad. A friend of mine just went last month. Raimondo, which country are you from again? Chile. Oh, nice. That's the outer sliver, right? Of or maybe I'm wrong. The outer sliver of South America? I'm probably completely wrong on that. Oh, okay, yeah. By the way, what's your guys' weather like right now in Chile? Are you guys having a winter right now, or? Damn, seeing all these pictures of Chile, they look it looks amazing over there. You guys just like mountain ranges in the different colors and everything. Holy! Oh, it's spring already? Ah, that makes sense because it's starting to be fall here. Dang. The Chilean Patagonia? Wait, never mind. Dude, it looks beautiful over there. Holy. The mountains are incredible. And you guys got some pretty sophisticated Santiago de Chile, is that? I'll show you. I'm looking at all these different photos. Like, where's the crazy mountain view? Like, look at that. Holy. That is amazing. And they got these. Look at that skyline, bro. Oh. Dude, Raimondo, you're at a beautiful place you're living in. Holy. Look at that. That's the oh, this one? What does it say? Recipes aus Santiago de Chile? I don't know. Maybe. Let's look at them. I don't even know. Oh, wow, dude. What the heck? That is so freaking cool. Do you live near, like, look at this mountain, bro. Oh my god. That is amazing. The Costanera Center. Costanera. Oh, okay, cool. Alright. You just got that. You got all that Chilean knowledge right in the brain. Ooh. It's a Mediterranean style. Actually, but it almost looks like it, dude. The Chilean food actually looks really good. What is this? Oh no, honestly, chile relleno, I do not like it. The gooey cheese inside, I'm not a fan. But oh, that looks good though. Oh, that looks really good. What the heck? Did somebody that's so funny. What is this? That's hilarious, dude. There's this funny story of how during the World War II we declared war on Japan 3 days before they surrendered, and then forgot to sign the peace treaty for like a decade. That is hilarious. But yeah, I guess, because they would have been coming. I think there's a lot of Japanese settled in Brazil, right? Due to World War II, I think. Oh, wow. Yo, these cities are crazy. Plaza de Armas in Santiago de Chile. Wow. Oh, dude, wait a second. Hey, wasn't there a crazy thing that happened here? Raimundo, maybe you know what I'm talking about. Dude, I think something crazy happened here, right? Wasn't there a bunch of YouTubers and stuff going this? And then like several different YouTubers or social media people like Instagram or whatever. Was there like dead bodies in this place? Is that this place? Do you know what I'm talking about? What is this place called? Chile Lanza Red de Senderos. What does that mean? De la Patagonia. Por 17 Parques Nacionales. Oh, okay. Oh. Torres. Oh, dang it. Torres del? I got my stupid. Yeah, Torres del Paine. Oh, what the hell? Let me see. I'm typing this in, but I don't know. Pork fire, okay. No, maybe not. But this looks suspiciously like this controversy that this area that was a controversy where some killer kept like throwing bodies in a. It looked just like this. It was so crazy. But dude, all right, that's kind of a morbid topic. Anyway, nonetheless, the reason why I clicked on this was because of that view, dude. Look at those mountains. That is beautiful. Wow. Dude, South America is something else, yo. Snow and then green. Ooh, puma. Oh, that's where we get pumas from, huh? Wait, y'all got all kinds of stuff out there, huh? Dang, look at that. Oh, really? Bunch of military died during an exercise many years ago. Lost in a mountain. Huh. I mean, dang, you guys got a lot of mountains. Yeah, okay, so here's Chile all down. Puntas Arenas, Puerto Montt, Kike. Interesting. All these islands and stuff here. Oh, nighttime. It's kind of a low resolution. It's not kicking in. Oh damn. I want to see the full resolution. Ooh. Wow. Dude, imagine this living in a city like this. That's so crazy. Imagine just having that every day. Oh man, you would get used to that, wouldn't you? What do you think? That would suck to get used to it, but dude. Wow. Oh, it's the same spot, huh? See, this is a famous spot. Patagonia. Yeah, I'm gonna try to look this up. Yeah. Hard to see from the ground. Oh, really? You'd have to be up to... Okay, probably because there's so many buildings. Probably just covering the skyline. When you're that low. You have to get elevated, yeah. Oh, what? Oh, yo. Wait a second. When did this happen? Dude, I hate to see a Forerunner down like that. When was this? 2015. Oh, yeah. .3 magnitude. Oh, damn. Did you experience this? Oh, probably, yeah. Being on the coast, and so we're known for having earthquakes pretty much north of you, you know, west coast of the United States. Damn. But dude, I don't even think we ever have this. This is more like something that would happen in Florida. And they get tsunamis, right? Oh yeah, that's exactly what this is, tsunami wave. This is something Japan even would have. Oh man. Dude, that's wild. Ecuador versus Chile. That's all football now. Damn. Cool place. Jeremoto, Valdivia. Oh my god. Yo. Holy. This was an earthquake? Damn. Yo. Looks like a tornado just went through and just brrr. So that's really everything just got shook and fell over. What the fuck? Holy. The horse. The horse is like, what is going on? Damn. Oh, underwater. Oh my gosh. Flooded, yo. There's a book of stories from survivors where they say, dude, I can imagine. Look at this. It looks like the apocalypse for sure. Damn. Wait, it was a 22 magnitude 60. So it was a magnitude 8. Wow. So it's this spot, huh? Is this like a fault line right here? So this is where all the seismic activity must... I wonder if a lot of it's just based there, if it's just all up and down the coast. Damn. The Ring of Fire. Oh, that's what it's called? The same one that goes on. Oh, wow. Let's see. Oh. Oh, wow. Oh, it even hits us too? So it just goes all the way. No wonder they call it a ring. Yeah, I'm like right here. And you're somewhere here. Damn. Yo, y'all got volcanoes over there in Chile that you can just see like that, or what? Oh. That was a solar eclipse. I'm about to say, what the fuck? I wonder where this is from. Dang. Yeah, I think we don't have any that are like super active. 500 active ones. Holy. I think the only one we have is I think Mount St. Helens is our major one that we have. I don't know about anyone else. There might be one like further inland at Yosemite, I think, or whatever, or not Yosemite, Yellowstone. Oh wow. Inside the Ring of Fire, how the Earth was made. Okay. Oh. Japan, November 22nd. Pacific Plate. So this is what it looks like. Dang, look at all these ones that are all surrounding Japan, yo. They got this one. They got this one. This one, this one, this one. It's like an X. X marks a spot. Yeah, we only have kind of like one or two. One main one. Mount St. Helens. Oh, wait. I think I've seen that. Mount St. Helens to Chile. Did I spell it right? Oh, I did 2 L's. Scientist. This one? It's like a little bit older, dude. I'll try scientist right now. Oh yeah, these be building their own to stay warm. They build their own like hole in the ground. They dig their own grave. Was it this guy? Yeah, David Johnston. Okay. So he was there in the 80s, huh? So I guess there was that eruption in the 1980s. David Johnson, May 17, 1980. Oh wow, look at that. Holy. Huh. Forever change the weather? The ash? Dang. Oh wow. And of course we got, oh wow. That's what it looks like? Dang. Just crazy. So it all went this way, huh? Looks like it. All the explosion went. Crazy. It's gonna be me in Japan one day. Just kidding. Scramble cross. Dude, I'm gonna sing that song. Dude, I need to learn Japanese. I have my book over here still. Little Genki. I've heard of the Tunguska? No. I'll look it up right now. Tunguska event. $1908, huh? Wait, what? Just Siberia? What is it? Literally. Dude, what do they think? It was a meteorite or some shit? Oh, you know what? This is reminding me of an anime. Dude, maybe we should watch a video on the Tunguska event, yeah? Bro, I think I'm gonna try to find one real quick. A meteorite? Yeah. Look at this. Dude, yeah, now I'm interested because this is like exactly reminding me. It had to do with some kind of time travel. What was it? Tunguska incident. Let me just write it out. Featuring similar. I don't know. Did I watch? I don't think I watched it in the movies. It had to do with like time, slightly trying to. Warning. You've detected. Hold on, let's see. I don't know if it's this song, but I got a content warning. Alright, let's see. We'll do fascinating horror Tunguska event. Alright. Siberia, Russia. Alright. We'll start watching this. Actually, this one's only 4. But we'll do this one because it's taking a fascinating horror look at it. We'll do that one first. The Tunguska event.
At around 7:17 a.m. on the 30th of June 1908, near the Podkamennaya Tunguska River in Siberia, Russia, a gigantic explosion took place. The force of the blast flattened around 80 million trees and cleared an area more than 2,100 square kilometers.
800 square miles? So that's how big that is?
Size.
What the hell?
For many years after this devastating impact, the true cause of the blast remained entirely unknown. The part of Siberia where the event took place was incredibly sparsely populated. Thus, fortunately, only 3 people were killed. Unfortunately, eyewitnesses to the event were also similarly few and far between. Generally, their stories were all quite similar. Many reported having seen a column of bluish light, nearly as bright as the sun, moving across the sky just before the event.
Oh yeah. Whoosh.
Others noted a bright flash and a sound similar to artillery fire when the event occurred. Those closer to the explosion were knocked off their feet by a shockwave that broke windows and damaged buildings hundreds of kilometers away. One eyewitness gave the following testimony to a Russian meteorologist in the years after the event. At breakfast time, I was sitting by the house at Vanavara trading post facing north. I suddenly saw that directly to the north, over Unkul's Tunguska Road, the sky split in two and fire appeared high and wide over the forest. The split in the sky grew larger, and the entire northern side was covered with fire. At that moment, I became so hot that I couldn't bear it, as if my shirt was on fire. From the northern side, where the fire was, came strong heat. I wanted to tear off my shirt and throw it down, but then the sky shut closed and a strong thump sounded and I was thrown a few meters. I lost my senses for a moment, but then my wife ran out and led me to the house. After that, such noise came, as if rocks were falling or cannons were firing. The earth shook, and when I was on the ground, I pressed my head down, fearing rocks would smash it. When the sky opened up, hot wind raced between the houses, like from cannons, which left traces in the ground like pathways, and it damaged some crops. Later we saw that many windows were shattered, and, in the barn, a part of an iron lock had snapped.
Wow.
This eyewitness was around 65 kilometers, 40 miles, away from the explosion when it took place, but the effects were felt much further afield.
I would imagine.
Indeed, tremors from the explosion were recorded by seismic stations across Eurasia, and airwaves from the blast were detected in Germany, Denmark, Croatia, the United Kingdom, and even in Washington, D.C. in America. In some places, the shockwave was equivalent to an earthquake measuring 5.0 on the Richter scale. In the days following the explosion,
I mean, if it's 800 miles wide, you can imagine.
Europe glowed. in some cases almost as bright as day.
That's so weird.
As bizarre as this incident was, the utter remoteness of Siberia made it difficult to investigate.
Yeah.
With only 3 casualties and a handful of eyewitnesses, the world had other priorities. More than a decade passed before any serious attempt was made to determine what exactly had happened. Several expeditions were eventually mounted to the area, with one expedition leader noting with some surprise that there was no impact crater at ground zero of the blast.
Bro.
Instead,
I wonder if this influenced Evangelion. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Because the geofront in Tokyo or whatever is like this underground base, right? It's like a... Dude, I wonder, because this is also reminding me of another anime that I can't remember the name of, but it has to do with some slight amount of time travel. But anyway, and damn.
While trees for miles around had been toppled and scorched, the trees directly under the epicenter of the blast were still standing upright, although burned and stripped of their branches.
Wait, hold on, I gotta rewatch that.
Prize mounted. Several expeditions were eventually mounted to the area, with one expedition leader noting with some surprise that there was no impact crater at ground zero of the blast.
Okay.
Instead, while trees for miles around had been toppled and scorched, the trees directly under the epicenter of the blast were still standing upright, although burned and stripped of their branches.
Huh.
By the 1960s, 50 years after the event, it had been established that the blast area was shaped like a gigantic butterfly, approximately 70 kilometers or 43 miles across, and with a body 55 kilometers or 34 miles in length. Within this blast zone, several mysterious holes and pothole bogs were located, some of which expedition leaders suspected might be meteorite craters. The laborious and expensive excavation of one such bog, however, revealed an intact tree stump at the bottom, and thus temporarily negated this theory. Expeditions in the 1950s and 1960s discovered microscopic spheres scattered throughout the area, with many buried in the ground or in the resin of felled trees. These spheres contained high concentrations of a nickel-iron alloy, often found in meteorites, along with numerous other metals that were unusual for the surrounding environment.
That's so weird that there's spheres like that.
The spheres were distributed in a manner consistent with the airburst of an incoming asteroid. A meteorite strike then became the leading theory.
Yeah, what if something collided with, like, two objects collided in space, broke off, and it was just like a shotgun, you know what I mean? Like a bunch of shotgun pellets of a blast that came into, and that's why they didn't have enough to make a crater, but they just, I don't know.
The stripped trees, the distribution of the spheres, and other scientific analysis all indicated that an asteroid had entered the atmosphere and exploded several kilometers above the surface.
But there's also that where it comes in solid, but then I don't know, what would cause it to explode before hitting the ground? Just like the rapid change in temperature or something? Or yeah.
With an energy roughly 1,000 times greater than the bomb that fell on Hiroshima.
Whoa.
Even the glow in the sky could be explained as ice particles shed by the incoming rock. As this theory emerged, it was challenged by many. Some insisted that a fragment of the meteorite must have survived, and that it should be found. Some proposed that the explosion had not been caused by an incoming asteroid at all, but by a weapons test or a crashing spaceship.
Okay, weapons test
Some insisted
I don't think
that
so.
it had been a comet rather than an asteroid.
Oh,
These theories,
what's the difference?
however, fell by the wayside as we came to understand more about the universe
Okay.
beyond our planet. We know now that the airburst of incoming asteroids far above the surface of the Earth is a routine occurrence.
Okay.
Usually, these cause so little harm as to be entirely unremarkable, but it is inevitable that an airburst similar to the Tunguska event will reoccur one day.
Those three guys walking in
Indeed,
the woods.
Such events have occurred throughout history, with an average frequency of around 300 years.
So every 300 years one of these happens? Okay, we've got 200 more.
The
Before something
Tunguska
like that
event
happens again.
was shrouded in mystery for many years, in part due to the remoteness of the area in which it took place. Let us hope that the next airburst of the same or greater magnitude takes place somewhere similarly remote.
Dang. Right? Dude, how lucky are they that it just happened way out in the middle of nowhere, dude? As a planet, we are lucky. Like, dude. Now I'm thinking I'm gonna leave a like on that video. In case anybody else. I'll put it in the chat. But, dude, I wonder what other interesting things this guy has. Actually, I'm gonna check the comments and see if we can learn anything. Wait, what happened here? Yeah. Whoa, what? What's this dude doing? He climbed way up there just to get a fucking selfie? God damn. I shouldn't cuss like that, but whatever. What an idiot. Oh, that's crazy. This dude. I don't understand why I can't go back now. Something happened. Maybe because I have too many tabs open all around here. Let's see. All right. Search 269. Okay. But backwards like that? 269. $sign. Wagyu beef. This one? This first one? This first one? Okay.
This is Ogata A5, which is the highest grade Japanese Wagyu.
Oh my god, is he really? He's gonna put that into Hamburger Helper?
Steak. Look at the marbling. Dear God, this is the cream of the crop. This was sold to me for $269 for the single steak. That's
Wow.
35,000 yen. That's also 6,201,729 Vietnamese dongs. These cows fucking get pampered better than anybody else. They get the best food, they get the best farms, they get the best care, they get probably better medical care than most kids. They probably get fucking better pussy, better cow. Once again, let's give that another little eye gaze there.
Yo.
Look at that, that's a beaut. Nobody gives a shit as much as Japanese people. And I'm not talking about just cow stuff. Like, these people fucking care about things. I saw a documentary about a guy, he has dedicated his life to making salt by hand.
Oh,
This
yeah,
guy's
I seen
like
that.
65 years old.
I seen that
And
guy.
He's been making salt for like 40 years. Who the fuck would do that? Find something, they laser focus on something, and
Yeah.
they just dedicate their life to being the best at
No,
it.
dude, I always think about that, dude. I always think about their dedication to their craft, dude. And they could just do the same thing for the rest of their life. Like, that's incredible. That is super
The attention
incredible.
to detail, the craftsmanship, the dedication, all reasons why this was chosen to be the perfect steak to accent my cheeseburger, macaroni, hamburger helper.
Bruh.
Made with real cheese, of course. I feel like hamburger helper would pair together with A5 Wagyu beef, like a Cabernet Sauvignon
This guy, dude.
and aged cheddar. Match made in heaven. That is quite the fatty piece of meat.
Ooh,
holy shit.
damn, that
Looks
looks
like a grease
good.
slick inside the goddamn steak bag. That's a pretty piece of meat. Let me give it a sniff. Smells like a wet dog. That's good. That's a good sign. By the
This
way,
doesn't
for
smell
any
like a
tough guys out
stench
there,
dog.
just remember, this one's for cutting steak, but this one, that's for protection.
Bro, the
my
way he
God,
just chopped.
dude. Look at this. It's a double stamped Chinette. Official, stamped twice. Chinette paper plate. It's like the world's rarest steak being served to you on the world's rarest paper plate. I am going to spoil myself rotten. What's important to know, though, is
Oh my
if
gosh.
you don't have A5 Wagyu grade beef, right? You can substitute a pound of ground beef for 5 fully cooked hot dogs. So in your area, if it's easier to get your hands on that, there's still like $6 of meat on that fucking plate. Now, I know you're probably wondering, Sam, what the heck? Why is your hat all flat and stuff instead of fluted out like a regular chef hat? I'm about to make a video for people showing them basically the most bougie shit they've ever seen in the trailer park. I want you guys to know that it was me, you know? And I've seen that movie Ratatouille, and so I flattened this shit down so you know there's not a fucking rat pulling my hair and doing everything for me. This is 100% homegrown.
The fuck's he talking about?
For watching this, fuck off, die already. It's funny though, because America's like fuck yeah, cows. We'll make a shitload of the whole state of Texas cow territory, Florida cows everywhere as far as the eye can see. Angus, gotta have Angus. CAFOs, 10,000 cows fucking feeding. One falls over and dies from exhaustion. They chop them up and feed them to the rest. The fucking cow's brain ends up looking like cauliflower from all the mad cow disease.
Yo.
Meanwhile, Japan, they're like, we'll make like 300 cows and they will be the best damn cows on this fucking planet.
Lol.
We will show each one affection. We'll name them. I'm sure they name them before they kill them. They're
Yeah.
all female. They're all virgins. You know, it's like a harem of sexy, delicious cows over there.
Yo.
And these things probably eat better than I eat on a daily basis. But at the end of the day, you know, who ended up in the frying pan?
Lucky guy. That's so dumb.
Some milk.
Milk.
Water. Oh, I gotta add the little sauce packet in here.
Oh, yeah.
That's really what's gonna bring this Wagyu beef from an A5 rating to an A10 rating, is the sauce.
Damn.
I gotta pour the rest of the noodles in there, get this bitch boiling again. I think I've outdone myself. At first I was kind of pissed.
Dude, I bet you
that
it
the
tastes
Food Network had
amazing
kinda
even
passed
despite
me
that.
over when I made that pitch for a show. I don't need the big budget. All I need is 6 million Vietnamese cocks. That's not that big of a budget. You know, it's a lot for a steak, but is it a lot for a show? No,
Yo, what?
It's not. All right, once it gets to like a roaring boil, we're gonna turn this bad boy down. Put a lid on it, let it simmer. When you're waiting for this thing to simmer, it's the perfect time to grab yourself a beer.
Bruh, beer sounds so good right now.
And kind of loosen up a little bit. Yeah. I'm cap. I am capping so hard right now. It is actually a Barks root beer. So don't worry, I'm not drinking on the job. That would be so irresponsible.
Oh my gosh.
Can you believe drinking on the job? You know, oftentimes when people see a
And he
delicious
vapes.
dish,
What a fucking jerk.
they go, you know, this is just like mom used to make. Let me tell you something. Sometimes a dish is so good your mom couldn't make it. And this is one of those dishes, okay? Your mom didn't go to Japan and get the best cow flesh in the world, but I did. Remember that. So next time you eat something delicious, don't go, just like mama used to make. Just say, you know, this is just like what Sam's making right now, probably. It's getting way too hot. The longer this goes on, the hotter it gets. But you know that point, that weird zone where you're like, 10 more seconds of this temperature and I'm gonna start sweating my balls off. I'm right when I'm about to crest that hill. A nice swig from this Barks comes into play, cools me right down. This is almost done.
Oh my gosh, this guy's
I'll say it's
funny.
about done. I'm gonna turn this off. This is bringing me back, but in a different way. You know,
Dude,
my
it looks
mom
so
had
good though.
Called me in from outside and said, "Hey, honey, you and that magnifying glass and that ant pile can finish up what you're doing later.
Hamburger.
It's time to come in for dinner." And I walked in through the door and fucking saw a big plate of this shit on the dinner table. I'd say, "Mom, you're spoiling me." But instead, my mom just bought stupid ass Angus beef, top grade, USDA choice garbage, literal garbage. I know you guys are probably hankering for me to try this, but I mean, it's like, it's 10:48. I mean, it's getting pretty late, and I already ate dinner, so I'm just gonna go ahead and just
Yo,
kinda do
no,
some
he's not
meal
even
prep for the week is what I'd plan on doing with this.
after all that. You not even. Oh, he's not even gonna have it hot, dude. He's gonna have it
Right,
microwaved.
you got this thing
What?
microwave, nice and hot. Oh yeah, got this nice and.
He fucking microwaved it, dude. I think that sealed the deal for me. That this is definitely. What'd you call it? A curse video, right?
This looks like it's gonna be pretty.
At least he
good.
used glass. Look at that fucking guy.
Thumbs up.
At least it's glass, and he didn't microwave it in plastic. That would have been the worst of the worst.
Mm-mm. There we go. You can't have cheeseburger or hamburger helper without some ketchup. Mm. Oh yeah, I should take it.
How many?
If I could, I'd like to
1
track down
million.
the guy that grew this cow, so I could send him the end result. I want him to know that his meat went into something that was made with love. All of his effort in creating the best meat in the world hasn't gone to waste. And top it off with some wine. Oh man, that just goes together. I am capping. So
I
hard.
know
This
that
is
looked like
actually
a sparkling
This
ice.
is
Yeah,
a
the wine's over here.
flavored sparkling
or whatever
water
that
beverage.
is.
I was capping right there. I'm sorry.
He's cap.
I'm just gonna say that a meal like this, that wouldn't have been possible if it wasn't for everybody coming together and doing their part. Japanese farmers, you know, working their
Yep.
asses off to make sure they produce the best meat possible. And then America. for
Return
doing
on
their
investment,
part
you know.
by manufacturing the hamburger helper. And personally, I think the best part about it is I like to try new things, but I also like to keep my roots. You know, so Bizzle told me he traveled to Japan, ate Wagyu beef at a Japanese steakhouse, paid out the ass for it. You know, he said, but it's worth it for the experience.
Oh.
And I think I reached a good middle ground here. Tried something new while also embracing my roots of a white man in the South. Gotta have that hamburger helper, you know.
Oh my gosh. Dude, that was hilarious. That was hilarious. This was a couple of years ago. That is hilarious. Dude, look at that. All right. Well, I think that's going to be it for tonight's stream. Raimundo coming in clutch with those good video suggestions. Or, well, suggestion in general. It was chill for sure. Alright, dude. Well, have a great rest of your night. I hope you sleep well. I think it's the same time for you, right? It's like 20 past midnight for you as well. Since we're all on the same side of the world, I guess. The same sliver of the world. Oh shit, you're 3 hours ahead. Oh damn, 4 hours ahead. Oh crap. Raimundo, well, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for spending your Late night, early morning with the SteubeMan. I hope you enjoyed your stay. We can go out with some. Have a great night, Raimundo. Let's see. Adios.